Greetings. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. Today, we are embarking upon a tarot journey as we decipher the signals of the stars. So, if you're here and this is your thing, I request that you smash that like button. Because right now, we're dealing with an interesting mix of energy. And on the 10th, it gets even more interesting. So as usual, we're going to start with a general reading for the collective. And as we continue, we'll do some personalized readings. So I hope that you're having an amazing day so far. I certainly am. I can tell you what, there's nothing like really being yourself, right? And what I mean by that is like, there's nothing like really being in the flow of your own energy, right? Especially if you're somebody who, like myself, has grown up in a place where a lot of people do things a certain kind of way. So if you're different, you attract attention, and that attention is usually negative. So going through years of that, it feels really wonderful. I can speak for myself, at least, to be operating in my own energy without having to worry about or care about judgment or the opinions or the projections of other people, right? And not even get upset about that. Like, everybody has a right to think what they want to think. Everybody has a right to have their opinion. But it ain't got shit to do with me. All right, let's get the soundtrack rolling and get the tarot cards a-reading. I didn't even realize the track was going to stop at that point. Like, that's the thing, man. Everything really just flows in alignment with itself. Okay, that's more like it. So, hopefully you are on your grind. Hopefully you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. Hopefully you're utilizing this energy that is coming through this Pluto in Aquarius, whatever we want to call it. No retrogrades whatsoever, that kind of thing. All right, so what are we dealing with right now? We've got the sun. Right now, we've got the sun in Pisces. The sun is in Pisces. So you've probably been feeling this dreamy energy that's been flowing around. This dreamy energy. For some people, it manifests as the desire to, want to escape. Whether that's through fantasy, through drugs and alcohol, through other people, video games, social media, TV, whatever. To varying degrees. And to others, it could also include really dreaming of plans and things that you want to ground into reality. Now, currently, as of about maybe an hour ago or so, the moon has just left Capricorn and entered into Aquarius. So right now we're feeling the fresh lunar Aquarian vibes. So all that dreaminess, all of that escape and creating in the imagination, right? That period of the moon has it's actually on the way. This new moon that is coming on the 10th is going to be a new moon in Pisces. So what we're going to have is the sun and the moon in Pisces. Now, as you know, a new moon is an ideal and perfect time to initiate, to begin, to start something, right? And the influences that are affecting the world at the time of that initiation are going to be embedded into that seed that you just planted. With that being said, like I said, hopefully you're on your grind right now. You're in the process of creating. You're in the process of planning. You're working on something right now that you plan on sticking around, right? Not something that's going to be temporary, not something that's going to be here today, gone tomorrow, but hopefully you're working on something that you can be proud of for a long time. I certainly am. Somebody asked me, like, what kind of rituals can we do to really harness this energy? And to be honest, there's all kind of rituals you can do, but my suggestion is to do the ritual of actually sitting down, thinking about where you want to be, and backtracking those steps one at a time. Where do you want to be? Okay, what's the next immediate step to get there? Great. What's the immediate step to get there? Right? So on and so forth. That's the ritual that I suggest you do. Because as I said, this is a special type of energy that's not going to be coming back, not this year at least. No obstruction, no influences, just straight up pure cosmic energy. And here's the thing, it's flavorless, which means that you get to set the flavor, right? You set the flavor for what's coming. So regardless of what's happening, what's going on, put all that aside and make sure that you are working on getting your plans in order. All right, so we're going to start out with a collective reading, dealing with the energies of now and the energies of the new moon in Pisces. Oops. Card just jumped out. Page of Wands. That's good. Like I said, fresh energy, fresh influence. Enthusiastic. But I'm going to keep shuffling. Because I felt it, but I'm not feeling that one. Nothing against the card itself. Just the shuffle was not like, all right, game time shuffle. It was more like, still mixing it up. Anyways, peace to everybody who's here. Peace to my people, my family, my major society. Rapsophones. There we go. Peace. Anna Molly. Peace, peace. Good to see you. Sunshine Chick. Always good to see you. Peace, peace. Society Ejects. Peace and greetings. Nibs Music. What's up? What's up, my brother? Cyclomate. Hazard Pie. Fresh out of the oil, right? Fresh donuts out of the oil. There we go. Not the oven. Waking Beauty. Greetings. All right. If you like this kind of thing, make sure you hit that like button. That tells the YouTube algorithm to keep promoting this kind of stuff. Hazard Pie says, I'm oiled up. It's a lifestyle. No ashy gang, right? Non-ashy gang. All right, let's begin. I thought maybe it'd be more comfortable in this position, but I think I was rudely mistaken. I might have a solution, actually. Maybe if I stack this phone holder on a couple of books, that might be a little bit better. Let's do that. better believe I have always got stacks of books within arm's reach. No exaggeration. Look at all these Goetia texts. Well, you've seen them before. They don't matter. All right, let's stack this thing up a little bit higher. You say you're supposed to try new things out in practice, not during the live event. Yeah. I think that's good. I think that's good. Oh yeah, coffee. All right, so concentrate, focus, think about the important pressing issues. And if you would like a personal reading, you can donate to the link that is pinned to my Cash App. So let's begin. Currently Moon in Pisces, currently Sun in Pisces, Moon in Aquarius. But on the 10th, we're gonna have this beautiful new moon and the Sun in Pisces. So what is the energy for the collective between now and then? What's to come of this new moon? All right, let's get started. All right, there we go. Something jumped out first. Hangman. That's pretty cool, because dealing with this extremely watery energy, there's a bit of a water element to Aquarius as well. And that's kind of indicated by not only its name, but its symbol, right? So the Hanged Man is a card that represents divine water. Now you can take that as love, sensuality, sexuality. You can also take that as psychic ability, right? But mostly the way that I take it is a certain sense of clarity, a sense of seeing through the illusion, because you're looking at things differently than you used to. And that could be because of trauma, that could be because of growth, right? But this is what we're doing right now. Stepping into this new moon season, new perspective. And I love that this card keeps popping up, because constantly being in a new perspective certainly indicates growth. Certainly indicates growth. So let's see what else we got here. Oh. Aside from that, we have Page of Swords. Page of Swords. Now this represents fresh, new, untamed ideas. We're talking about the type of ideas that seem to be coming out of the blue, coming out of nowhere, really inspirational. I've been feeling this, right? Especially getting more and more back into my meditation and spending time allowing my subconscious mind to condense and congeal all the data that I've acquired during the past couple of days and weeks, and just stilling my mind, allowing that information to come together and process and create and generate new ideas. That's what we're supposed to do, right? How many of you actually make time to disengage and not do anything and just allow your subconscious mind to mix up all the data that you've accumulated and put something fresh together? There's a book about the subconscious mind. Some of you all who have been part of my channel for years, and even Brother Panic channel, you've seen this book. Somebody tell me the title of it. It's a black book. It's written by Van Fleet, and it's about the subconscious mind. Who knows the name of that book? It's a book about the subconscious mind. It's written by Van Fleet. It's black. I can't remember the name. I've shown it plenty of times, and I know that Brother Panic would talk about it a lot as well. I think it's called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. It's in my living room. But I think that somebody here can guess the title for me. Or not guess, but hell, if nothing else, we can look it up. Hidden Power, that's it. Thank you, Society Ejects. Hidden Power. Yeah, so there's a book written by James K. Van Fleet. It's called Hidden Power, right? And it's a great introductory book to the subconscious mind if you're unfamiliar with it. And one of the things that he says in that book that stuck with me all these years is about how genius happens, right? Genius does not happen when you sit down and you focus and you concentrate and you strain like a Dragon Ball Z power up. Right? Sitting there trying to force ideas, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And if you tried it, you know how frustrating that is when you try to force an idea to come out of your head. The way that it actually happens is that moments of genius come when you don't expect it and when you're not forcing it. This was also talked about in another one of my favorite books about quantum physics, written by an occultist slash yogi practitioner. The book is called Stalking the Wild Pendulum. I love that book. You want to talk about some eye-opening new ideas that line up with Vedic information and occult information? Get the book Stalking the Wild Pendulum. I kind of kept that a secret for a while, but I'm telling you now. He also mentions about how these moments of genius, when you look at Tesla, when you look at Edison and Ben Franklin, or all these people that we've considered geniuses throughout the centuries, in their writings, they often talk... Oh, this popped out too. In their writings, they often talk about their moments of great inventions. Those ideas came to them when they were like out on a walk, when they were taking a shower, when they were doing something mundane and basic, right? That's when the ideas came. And somebody like Tesla was able to see the entire blueprint in his head and remember it without writing it down. I remember being able to do that with music. I'd be able to like put together a whole song in my head while I'm at work or something like that, and then I'd rush home and like lay the whole track down in Reason or Fruity Loops. That was always pretty cool. But in any case, the point that I'm making right now is new vision, new perspective, right? New perspective right now. You're probably seeing things a little bit differently than you used to for whatever reason. For better or for worse, you're seeing things differently. Take advantage of that, because seeing things differently leads to these brand new ideas, these untamed, wild ideas. That's what you want for this season right now, right? And that lines up perfectly with Aquarius, right? These untamed, wild ideas of the mind. This resonates with where we're at right now. Now this card jumped out, Justice. Justice, right? Now these ideas are going to be the ones that set things right, y'all. These are going to be the ideas that set things right. This is what you've been waiting for. You've probably got certain issues going on in your life. You've probably got things that you want to do and haven't been able to do. Maybe you have something that's lacking and you're trying to get more of it. Whatever the case may be, these ideas that are coming through now are the ones that are going to set the record straight. They're going to set the balance. This is why I keep saying these past couple of days how important this energy is, right? If you have things that you've been dealing with and you're tired of dealing with it and you're ready now to make a move, to make a solution, this is the window of opportunity where you need to tap into your subconscious mind and allow the answers to come through. What's next? Strength. Strength. This is the beautiful thing. This is the beautiful thing, right? The whole reason you probably had the issues that put you out of balance, and hell, the whole reason that probably gave you this new perspective, is probably due to a lack of strength in a certain area. These challenges have probably beat you down a little bit, right? These challenges over the past couple of months, hell, probably over a year now, have probably beat you down and got you kind of weak. And I can admit the same thing happened to me. It's only been recently that I've been starting to gain my power back, right? Starting to gain my focus back, gain my consistency back. It's only been recently, and it's only improving. See, there's a strength that you lost, but it's coming back now. It's coming back now. This is why this new moon and sun in Pisces is so important, because there's a certain vision that you had and you let go of it. There's a certain vision that you let go of. Now, I don't know if this is a creative project. This is like your home or your car or something that you had a vision about, and it actually fueled you. It gave you energy. It gave you strength. It gave you the drive to continue. Somewhere down the line, you kind of lost that vision. You probably got distracted. You probably started seeing different kinds of evidence, and you probably started believing and chasing that different kind of evidence, and you lost steam. But I tell you what, you better tap into that subconscious mind and get these new ideas, because those new ideas are going to set the record strength. They're going to set the record straight and give you the strength that you need to continue. Right? And if you don't like feel-good messages, that's fine. You can go elsewhere and get some doom and gloom, talking about how the demiurge is going to consume your soul, and China's going to invade, and AI is going to do this, that, and the third. You can get that if you want. Obviously, I'm not pulling any card on purpose. I'm letting the energy that's flowing right now be represented out loud. And this is what I'm pulling. And ultimately, because the alignments are in such a position right now that is very clear and unobstructed, this is a lot like, you could say, stem cell energy, where you can do whatever you want with it. So if you want to play that doom game, you can. It's your choice. You have the freedom to create whatever you want right now. And I tell you what, if right now I've been given the golden ticket to create and manifest what I want, damn all that bullshit. I got a couple things on the table that need manifesting. Now look who came back. See, this was the card that fell out first, and I said, nah. Now look who came back. Look who came back. This is what I'm saying. So the fire. It looks just like an incense stick, doesn't it? Now tell me, what do you do with incense sticks? You ignite them, and what happens when you ignite them? It fills the room with a brand new aura, with a brand new fragrance. And if you do it right, that fragrance can take your mind into a different trance, in a different state. It's time to engage. It's time to ignite. Set yourself on fire. This is the spark. If the Knight of Wands is that blazing, uncontrollable inferno, then this Page of Wands is that initial spark. You've got your fuel. You've got your flame heat source. It's time to put them together. It's what we're doing. This what we doing. J Baldhill says, for me lately, it seems like making music and art and letting myself get caught up in other bullshit. Yeah, right now is the time to let that go. You can get back to it next month. I promise. It's going to be there for you. Peace, MC Maestro. Society Eject says, okay, lol. I was just debating about using a new video software, DaVinci Resolve, but I was nervous about learning a new software. LOL, fuck it. I'm going to learn it. Make that correct choice, bro. Because look, I realize what I'm going to be spending my energy and focus on. I'm going to be learning astrology this year. I'm going to master astrology this year. As much as I can, right? Maybe 2 years ago, I said that I was going to do this with Kabbalah. And I did. Now I'm going to do this with astrology. Because as I've been saying before, one thing I really learned is that Kabbalah, tarot, and astrology are three sides of the same science. And in order to really understand what's going on, you've got to be proficient in all three fields. So I'm great with Kabbalah. I'm getting a whole lot better with tarot. Astrology I never really put too much energy into, but that changes now. Ordered me a couple of books. I'm going to start learning about the sextile and the square and the triangle and all that good stuff, the houses and all that. Yeah. Super comprehensive. Okay, so yeah, this is what we got here. I'm going to pull one more. Do one more. Boom. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open for new opportunities that are going to come out of the blue. Keep your eyes open. The same way that this new perspective is leading to fresh new ideas, there's also going to be some emotionally fueled ideas, right? These ideas are coming from above, hitting your mind. These are going to be coming from below, hitting your body, hitting your emotions. right? Be aware of these new ideas that are about to be coming through in this new moon. It'll be easy to stay. Look, as you start to level up, so do your distractions. It never fails. If you've ever been anybody who's tried to improve yourself and do something differently in life, you know that as soon as you start to step up, as soon as you start to improve yourself, so do the distractions start to turn up and amplify. So keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. Patchwork, peace. Thank you for your donation. MC Maestro says DaVinci is definitely easier than Premiere, but Premiere has a lot of good technicals. Yeah, man. I've been using Premiere for years, and I'm actually going to stop because the way that AI is moving right now, I'm not making any cinematic movies, so I don't think I really need Premiere anymore. That's kind of overkill and overspending. I know there's cracked versions and all, but I'm looking for new methods for faster, more modern techniques. I haven't tried Resolve, so I couldn't speak on it, but it doesn't matter. It's just like when I used to make music. It doesn't matter if you use Fruity Loops or Reason or Logic or Pro Tools or Ableton. It doesn't matter. What matters is you learning the system, investing in that system, investing time and energy into that system and using it. That's what matters. You can make a masterpiece with Fruity Loops, Reason, Ableton, DaVinci Resolve, Premiere, iMovie, CapCut. What matters is how well you know that program. So pick one and dive in. Ardquark, peace. Ardquark says, I started with astrology and realized quickly that Kabbalah, Tarot, and numerology are all inherently part of the whole system. Yeah. All right. Let me grab this lighter and spark this up. And as I mentioned, if you would like a personal reading, hit me up on the Cash App in the link that is pinned. Let me grab this lighter. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. Society Eject says, is that Nag Champa? Absolutely. Had to get the OG, the blue box with the white on it. All right, Animali says 3 major arcana, 2 pages, and 1 regular dude trying to decide which cup, if any. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you for pointing that out. Animali says, might be time to walk away from the cups, emotional desires. Yeah, so let's look at that. We got 2 pages here, which is raw, uncut, initiated energy, right? Spiritual type and the mental type. New ideas, new passion. New ideas, new passion. This is literally the time to start something new. New ideas and new passion. Now we got the 3 major arcana. As I usually say, this is a big deal. This is karmic, right? This is something that's happening, that's being initiated on the deep subconscious level. This new perspective, a time for righting the imbalance, and a renewed sense of strength. Leo, Libra, water, the waters of clarity, psychic waters. And then, of course, the 4 of Cups. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, speaking of, Ramen Noodle 6 says, is this like a general reading or something else? That was a general reading, for sure. Now, speaking of utilizing new programs and starting new hobbies, is anybody, or I should say, how many people here are actually investing their energy and starting up something new? Whether that's learning a new program, learning a new skill, new science. Like, how many people right now are actively taking this energy that is present and utilizing it towards learning a new skill of some type? How many people do we have doing that? Like I mentioned, I'm getting into astrology seriously here. Ultra Instinct says, digging into investing. Cool, cool. Stellar Luna says, I'm about to start school for a new trade on the 11th. Okay, okay. Egg Boy says, I'm wearing Latin. Animali says, I'd been studying something for a few years, and I just applied it Monday, and it worked way better than expected. Nice, nice. Sunshine Chick says, me. Stray Panther, peace. Hazard Pie says, starting my magical diary and also learning new skills for a hobby. Patchwork says, been studying Kabbalah, thinking about the Golden Dawn initiation. Okay. Stray Panther says, getting back into art. All right. English Toffee says, I went back to school last year and it didn't work out. 5 months of my life wasted. Never wasted. I'm sure that there was something about that experience that you gained that you did not have before. All right, let's check this out. Let's do a reading for those of us who are moving forward with this new skill, attempting to add something to ourselves. Let's take a look at perhaps what we need to know in order to make sure that this process goes efficiently and smoothly. Rhapsophone says, I've been analyzing myself and understanding my labyrinth. Always the best process. All right, let's do a reading for those of us who are learning some new stuff right now. Six of Wands, victory. Look at that. It's an awesome way to start this out. The energy of Jupiter in Leo. We're talking about an expansion of the ego. Not necessarily of the negative, oh, the ego, I think that I'm big and bad and better than everyone, but an expansion of how we assert ourselves in the world. When it comes to spirituality, people are very, very quick to demonize the ego, but the ego is just a part of us like the animal body, and each part of us has got to be in a sense of harmony in order for it to be healthy. As I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, some of us grew up in environments where our ego sense was diminished, right? Where it was not encouraged for us to really be ourselves and to be different from the pack. So we kind of developed a somewhat of a diminished ego sense. So this Jupiter in Leo, the Six of Wands, means that these new skills that we are attempting to learn and digest are going to be one of the many ways that we can expand our sense of self and an understanding of our sense of self. I can see that. I can see that. Let's see what else we got. Six of Discs, material success. It's looking good, looking very good. So we've got the moon in Taurus. The moon is very comfortable here in Taurus. This is a very stable sign, a stable place for our mind to grow and to wander. Now, in this particular case, we're talking about the physical plane, the world of Asaya. And allowing the moon to travel the fertile grounds, to plant the seeds in the energy of Taurus, within the realm of Asaya, is the perfect behavior. The first thing that God told man to do, pretty much, was be fruitful and multiply. And that's what this is all about. So this new skill that we're learning is going to allow us a chance to really expand ourselves and the definition of ourselves. It's also going to allow us an opportunity to be fruitful and abundant. It's looking good so far. Material trouble. So, as the great poet once said, Christopher Wallace, the more money you come across, the more problems we see. More money, more problems, right? To go along with this sense of balance, we must understand that as we begin to develop ourselves and solidify ourselves and come to know who we really are, through these skills that we're adapting and learning and applying, as we begin to accumulate success, whether it be in physical, tangible wealth or items or books or whatever you consider wealth, whatever makes you feel that you are fulfilled, understand that oftentimes that can come with the offset energy of trouble. In this particular case, we're dealing with Mercury in Taurus. So before we had the moon in Taurus, this energy is symbolized by Mercury in Taurus. So where the moon is going through the fertile ground of planting seeds and creating with those new ideas we talked about previously, Mercury is moving very quickly. Now, in this sign of Taurus, that's not very copacetic. That's not in alignment with Taurus. Mercury is an air sign, Taurus is an earth sign. The two are at odds. So it very well may be a warning to ensure that even though this is a time that you're getting a bunch of ideas circulating, you're going to have to pick something and plant it. Because if you just let all these ideas accumulate and circulate and not make any moves, that's almost worse than not starting the skill in the first place. Imagine being in a fertile, opportune moment, able to have all these different ideas and options to choose from. And instead of actually making a choice, and it could be out of fear, right? You don't want to make the wrong choice. But with this kind of energy, there is no wrong choice. There is a just do it and go. Time is of the essence, right? Now that doesn't mean, oh, time's running out, you better hurry up. What that means is if you've got a certain amount of time, I would think that you'd want to utilize as much of that time to go as deep as possible, as opposed to left and right, scattered around looking for what to choose. No, pick one and go deep. Look at this symbol here, right? Notice how those rings are going deeper and deeper into itself. That's how you build something stable. And notice how these discs are kind of scattered and random and unbalanced, right? So in your learnings of this new season, be sure to actually make a move, plant seeds, and go forward in one direction, as opposed to scattered all over the place. And look, Queen of Cups. So it looks like overall, and when I say overall, I'm talking about the different areas of your life, emotionally, with your relationships with other people, with your health. This is something that has the potential to really affect you all around. Has the potential to really affect you, not just in the skill that you're learning, but the people around you. Like I said, the relationships, if you do this right, can affect your finances. So I think the main key here is to make a choice and stick with it. Make a choice and go deep with it. Sabrina says, I'm learning more about intellectual property law, especially during these times. Okay, see, that would be a great direction to go. Gang Stalking Simulation says, I've been working with demons of wrath. How's that going for you? Ben Dessel says, if I had your nails, I would probably rip my nutsack open after one scratch. Hey, don't let the lack of nails stop you. I say go ahead and do it anyway. And upload it so we can watch. Patchwork says, also been taking steps to get my material life in order as well. Awesome, awesome. WVT, peace. WVT, happy birthday to you, my friend. Happy birthday. We're going to do a reading for you, as promised. And we're going to use this brand new deck. We're going to use this brand new hermetic deck. Absolutely, absolutely. Stellar Luna says, I was watching a video this morning about how people who grew up with childhood trauma don't know who they are because they never got to be themselves. It's very true. That's why now is the perfect time to do shadow work and not tomorrow. Society Eject says, new for me, really cracking down on fundamental work and doing movies and new business and overall being more in the moment in a new me. Perfect. Maestro says, just work with the abundance pattern in Hall's book. Have you seen the pleasure pattern where you dig into your pleasure and amplify it and then apply it to something that gives you anxiety? Man, I did that last night. And it's true what they say. You don't get energy from sleep and from food. You get energy from anticipation of the future. And you get anxiety from not looking forward to the future. It has nothing to do with how much you eat, or what kind of food you eat, nothing to do with how much sleep you get. It has everything to do with how you see the world, man. Peace, Louis. Louis says, writing my list of goals right now. Opened up YouTube to listen to music while doing so, and I see you live. Hell yeah. This is the focus zone. I don't know or care about anybody else, but we making the most out of this year. Let them other folks drown in their social media distraction. I'm making moves. You are too. Kevro says, been looking at strategies to win the lottery. How's that going, my friend? How is the process for you? I swear, man, the trolls come in and they instantly start making typos. Like, if you're gonna come, you gotta come correct. Because how you gonna type an insult and then retype it again with the spelling corrected? Like, hang it up, man. Hang it up. All right, so let's get to WT. WT, what's your sun and your moon and your ascendant? Tell me your sun, your moon, and ascendant. I know you're Pisces. I think you're Pisces Capricorn, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know. Let me know. I think my favorite one so far was when the dude was like, turn to Christ so you can relive your burden. You need to go back to propaganda school, buddy. 'Cause I don't think anybody wants to relive their burden. That's your introductory offer? Join now and you can relive your burden. Try again, buddy. Try again. I pity the fool. So yeah, let me know your sun, your moon, and your ascendant, so we can see what's going on for you this birthday season. Straight Panther, peace, peace. Art Quark says, my wife loves the Hermetic deck and it speaks to her so directly. It is amazing to witness. Yeah, I took your suggestion. I looked at a bunch of different decks and this one caught my eye. There's another one that I really want. It's like black and red and it like shows a cross section. Like each card is like it shows the person or whatever, but there's like a slice across, and it's like X-ray, like their skull, and it's like red. The rest of the card's black and white. I don't remember the name of it, but I'm gonna get that one. I'm gonna get that one next. I just didn't want one that was like completely all dark and gothy, but I gotta admit it looks pretty cool. I'll get it next time. I don't remember the name of it. Ramen Noodle says, what's a good book to read on magic? I mean, you know, that's a really broad question. But, you know, Basic Magic is a great one. The Magician is a great one. If you're really serious and, like, you're actually going to do the work, you could read Initiation into Hermetics. Oops, this is the Practice of Magical Evocation. Don't get this one. Initiation into Hermetics. But yeah, that's a broad question. Like when you say magic, what specifically are you trying to learn? Because magic is not a thing. It's like a really broad category. And then you got the ones that come in here trying to type a whole paragraph and get immediately blocked. Like, I hope that takes the wind out of your sails. Typing up this long thing like, yeah, man, somebody's going to laugh at this. As soon as you post it, it's gone. I love it. Okay, so we got Sun Pisces, Moon Libra, Ascendant Cancer. All right. Good for me. We're gonna utilize this brand new deck. So Pisces, Libra, Cancer. There we go. Let's see where we at with it. Stray Panther, peace, and thank you. As well, if you could give me your sun, your moon, and your ascendant, I'll write that down. Alden says, peace, Trav. Just finished your Jnana Yoga book study for the 3rd time and saw you were live. The energy lately is great for concentration. Yes, it is, man. Yes, it is. This out of EJX. I'm putting time out on all you bitches. You think you can do this shit? Jay! You think you can do this shit to me? All right. Let's do it. English Toffee. This, yeah, I don't have the name. I mean, I can get it for you. I think Sunshine Chick knows the name of it because she posted the name of it not long ago. But yeah, let's break out this new deck and see what it has to say. Skin Tight says, I love your decks. They all say that. Care to share? I want to learn how to read tarot cards better. Scorpio, will I pass the test? Will I get a job transfer? Perhaps. Stray Panther is Aquarius, Sagittarius, Desco. I'm not sure what that Desco is. Scorpio, got you. All right, wow. I've been having deja vu all day. Like, this is the 3rd time I had deja vu today alone. Sunshine Chick, if you are currently present, if you remember the name of this particular oracle deck, please enter it into the chat. Otherwise, I'll go and get it from the living room. But this is your ascendant, Libra, Pisces Sun, and Cancer Moon. That's a lot of water. So let's see what the Spirit saith to the churches. All right. First card out of this awesome deck. I literally just got it before I checked the mail and got it before this live stream. Oh, there we go. What's the first card to jump out? Boom. Boom. So we start, for you will, WT, Six of Wands, Lord of Victory. So what we're dealing with here is Jupiter in Leo. Now remember what I said on that last reading about those of us who are spending time to really learn a new skill and how it's going to reinforce our ego, reinforce our position in the world. Oh, my bad, Libra Moon. Libra Moon. Thank you for the correction. Libra Moon. But yeah, so we've got Jupiter in Leo, right? So there's an expansion of that solidification of the self, an expansion of that ego sense. And this is a very spiritually enhancing thing, right? This is the kind of good for you that gives you, like I said, more inspiration and more motivation for the future, because it helps to give you a clear vision, a stronger vision that gives you more energy and passion to move forward. So this is the Six of Wands, right? We got Tifereth style energy. Victory. Now the traditional card is the man riding on the horse, and people are celebrating his entry into town, right? So that's what we start with. I love the artwork on this. The symbology is outstanding. WT says, I've been saying inspiration all week and almost said it in the live earlier. That's how we kicking it off. And this card jumped out, right? I didn't even pull it. It jumped out. All right, so let's see what else we got. Who else is gonna make themselves known tonight? Oh, here we go. Let's see what this is. So we've got the Lord of Flame and Lightning. This is the best friend of these tarot readings, the Knight of Wand. This guy has been showing up probably since I've began this process. Pure fire, right? This is past ignition. We about to burn the whole house down, right? So this isn't just any kind of inspiration. Six of Wands, Lord of Victory. We're talking about forest fire, right? Shit is getting decimated. The ash that's about to enter this soil is going to be fertile for plants that haven't even been discovered yet, right? We're talking about some raw force, raw power, terraforming energy. MC Maestro says he's the only knight in the deck that runs towards you. Damn. Right? So this type of energy here, we're talking about your motivation, your inspiration, right? Victory. This is going to be the type of motivation that you probably haven't seen in a very long time. Haven't seen it in a very long time. That's awesome. Anna Molly says, we don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn. Stray Panther says, very spiritual day. Saw numbers all day and had a man in the mirror moment, a nigga moment at work. Man, yeah, it is a very spiritual day. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the moon entering Aquarius right after Capricorn, going from earth to air like that. See, as I'm studying astrology, I'm really paying attention to where my mind goes when I'm not paying attention, if that makes sense. I'm becoming aware of my unawareness, right? That's a meta state. Meta states are pretty cool when you work with them. There's awareness, right? And how do I feel about that awareness? I'm becoming aware of that awareness. And I can become aware of my awareness of awareness. These are like the types of emotions that are happening in the subconscious mind. When you talk about the mental plane, this is how you map it out. You think about what trance you're in, and then you go to how you rise up above how you feel about that trance. What are your beliefs about that trance? Rise up above some more, and how do you feel about that trance? How do you feel about feeling about that trance? Might sound confusing, but it's not really. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So this new passion, this new motivation, this new energy, we got the star. We got the star. This is a card about, she's called the Daughter of the Firmament. And this is the card about hope. Hope. This card is represented by Aquarius. Vision is a big thing right now. And as I mentioned before, I got this from Tony Robbins. He talked, and Myron Golden, they talk about how when you wake up, what decides between whether you're going to just get up and go do it and get to work and get on your tasks, or if you're going to procrastinate and take it slow and find other things to do, the real deciding factor of that is how you see the future, right? So if you've got this thing that has to be done, if you're excited about it, if you're thrilled about it, if you would pay to be able to do it, right? Imagine something you want and love so much that you pay to have access to it. If there's something that you're passionate about like that, you're looking forward to the future and you're staying on task. On the flip side, if you look at something, if you've got anxiety, if it makes you feel a little bit of pain, right? If you kind of dread it, if you're kind of afraid or uncertain, you want to do it perfectly and you're scared that you're going to mess it up, that causes anxiety and you're not going to go do it. You're going to find excuses to not do it. So what we're talking about here, the star card, is hope. This motivation that is engulfing you in intense flames is giving you the light and the warmth and the heat. Looking forward to tomorrow, right? Hope, the daughter of the firmament. Let's go one more. Let's go one more to round this thing out. Six of Pentacles, the Lord of material success. This is a really good card. The Lord of material success. In other words, man, take a hold of this inspiration. Take a hold of this firepower. This is your birthday. This is your solar return, right? This is the time where your sun is in the same place it was when this body of yours came out the womb and took the first breath, right? So this is a very special time for you specifically. Stick with this firepower. Stick with this motivation. Stick with this passion, dude. Pay attention to the hope that it's giving you, the inspiration. Don't let this go. Don't let this go. Don't overthink or overfeel and let this motivation turn into anxiety, right? As you create your plans, your visions, and your dreams, you want to do something, whatever it is that you want to do, don't start to overthink it to where you start finding the problems and picking it apart. And all of a sudden, now you're starting to have dread. That's going to take away your vision. Stay focused and keep those good feelings. I'm telling you this for a reason. This is the recipe how to keep motivation. Because at the end of all this, we're going back to the moon and Taurus. This is what we pulled previously. The Lord of material success, right? So this is twice that this card has shown up. The Lord of material success. This is the end result. Stick with it. One thing about consistency, it doesn't really matter how it looks in the beginning. As long as you stick with it, you are going to make yourself very proud. And it will pay you back. Richard Tracy, peace, bro. Louis says, Travis, I don't know anything about tarot. How do I go about learning my houses and all that? First thing you want to get is the time that you were born, right? If possible, try to ask your mother to see your birth certificate. And I say specifically a birth certificate as opposed to getting word of mouth, if possible. If not, try to get as close as you can. Then go to indastro.com or astrocafe.com, any of those places to get a free natal chart reading. When you get that natal chart reading, put in your time of birth. This is important, right? Put in your time of birth because the moon moves rapidly. So does Mercury. You want to get the time of your birth because that's going to give you your accurate ascendant. That's going to be your first house. You need that to learn how the other houses affect you and how the other planets and their positions and all that, well, how all that translates to your specific incarnation. So the most important thing is to get your birth time. Actually lay eyes on that birth certificate if you can. If you can't, there are other ways. But if you can get your eyes on that birth certificate, that's going to be the main linchpin, the cornerstone of this whole thing. Anna Molly says, Trav, what does 6 mean? A lot of sixes so far. 6 represents harmony and balance. 6 is the center. 6 is when you think about a wheel and all the spokes of the rim going into the center. That's the 6. The 6 is the center which everything revolves around, which everything depends upon, which holds the weight and the pressure and keeps everything in order and in balance. That's what the 6 represents. So thank you, Anna Molly. To add some dimension to this card, We're also looking at how this material success that's on the way to you, as long as you stay focused, is going to be a central pillar in your lifestyle, right? This might be a new way to support what you really want to do. All signs point to take this motivation and this passion that you've received, anchor it, right? Because this is a physical card. This is a Saya Malkuth type of card. Anchor it in the physical plane. Anchor it into the real world. Utilize it. Ramen Noodle says, what are these houses? Is this some Harry Potter shit? Maybe. Skin Tight says Scorpio 6:30 a.m. I mean, you also want the day on which you were born. That kind of helps. Were you born today at 6:30 a.m.? Eastern time, Pacific time, you know what I'm saying? Joe Dutil says, that's demons talking to you. You need to repent and come to Jesus. Satan will confuse you. I mean, it sounds like you confused. What are you doing on my channel, on my video, trying to tell me, which you've probably heard my voice for 3 seconds, and you already have a whole breakdown on my psychology and what's happening? It sounds more like you're confused, buddy. Go back to TikTok. And you know you're going to Pornhub later tonight, so how you gonna come here and judge me? You sinning more than me. Stellar Luna says you can always order a long form birth certificate from the state you were born in if no one has a copy. I'm telling you, man, lay eyes on that birth certificate if you can. Ask her to take a picture of it or something. All right, so WT, let me know how you feel about this reading. Let me know how that goes for you. Let me know how that goes for you. Stray Panther, sounds like you are up next. Only on Cartoon Network. How we feeling, everybody? How we feeling? WT says, yeah, loud and clear. Awesome. MC Maestro, you mentioned something a week ago that really got my wheels turning. You mentioned the focus challenge. And that's something that I ran a couple years ago on my YouTube channel. And it was a great, personally, I really did it so I can sharpen my own focus. But I knew that having accountability with other people would help me stay on task. So I kind of made like this focus challenge where a bunch of people can join in and pick something that they can focus on for like a week or two. I don't remember how long it was. And really dig in and dive deep and go harder than they normally go. I'm going to do that again. And I'm going to do it better now that I have better tools to work with mentally. Because right now, this season, right now, I'm telling you, it's like you have raw, pure cosmic energy to take and transform your life into whatever, right? Now, yeah, you can always do that at any given time. But right now is way more auspicious. Right now is way more auspicious to do it. I'm telling you. This is not just an everyday run-of-the-mill type of shit, unless you treat it like that. It doesn't have to be. But hey, I can only talk about it so much. You can be the one that does nothing about it and continue to reap the life that you have, or you can be something that does something about it and add to yourself, take away the things you don't want. English Toffee says, birth certificate in my country doesn't have time of birth. I got my time of birth from hospital records and my birth announcement document. Awesome, awesome. As long as you got it and you got to lay eyes on that document and utilize it. Rainbow Orchestra says, Pisces new moon with Saturn happens with Shivaratri. This will never occur again in our life. I'm telling you, man, this is a special time. Shivaratri, Pisces new moon. Yeah, man, like I said, I hope you got the general reading I did at the beginning. And all these readings that I've been doing for the past month or so have really had a very similar theme, hasn't it? This invocation of the Lord of Flame and Lightning. This is how you terraform and transform reality right here. with force. Now, there's all kind of different ways to do it, but this is the electric force of movement. This is what's happening right now. That's why I'm saying, if you're not reaching up to grab this lightning, don't try to reach up and grab it when it's gone, because it's not going to be there. You grab it and you put it into the earth, you plant it so that it can grow and feed you over time. Now, let's talk about this spirit guide ancestor reading. We're going to use this brand new deck. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Mr. Gardner. We've got Aquarius. Aquarius Sun. Sagittarius Moon for you. This is a badass card, isn't it? Scorpio Rising. Scorpio Rising. I think I found out why Aquarius usually tend to be some of my favorite people. As I was studying astrology last night, really getting into the depth of it, the particular decan that I'm born under is ruled by an Aquarius influence. If you don't know, all of the signs have 3 decans, right? Depending on when you were born. And see, this is another good reason to get your birth time. So from my birth date, it comes up under the rulership of 10 of Swords, right? That's that Gemini, 10 of Swords. But see, notice how Gemini isn't just Gemini. This is why you can't just do a general reading from out the newspaper and expect it to be 100% accurate. Sometimes it will be. It's hit or miss, because there's 3 different types of Gemini. There's 3 different types of every sign. And these 3 different types are ruled by different energies, right? This is a precise system. This is a precise system. And when you do get a reading from somebody that knows what they're talking about, it's scary accurate. Now, if you get a reading from somebody who doesn't understand, of course it's easy to say, that's hogwash and baloney, turn to Jesus. It's easy to say that. By the way, what comes after working with Bina? Does anybody know what comes after working with Bina? What's the next Sephirah after being initiated into Bina? What does the initiation into Chokmah look like? What are the studies pertain to in the initiation of Chokmah? Let's see, notice how down there that Gemini, 10 of Swords, is ruled by the sun. This is because this particular book is going with Kabbalistic influences, and traditional Kabbalah does not include Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. But when you look at these decans in an actual astrology book, you'll see that some of these planets are different, and that particular decan is ruled by Uranus. So yeah, when you know the details of what this stuff actually means and represents, it starts to get scary accurate. Scary accurate. I got the hookup. Holler if you hear me. Anna Molly says, making jewelry again while listening. Good energy. Oh yeah, you're infusing that jewelry with all kinds of wonderful magnetics. Richard Tracy says, what deck is that? It's badass. Sheesh. Sunshine Chick posted the link earlier. If you scroll up, I can't remember the name. I never look at the box. I just look at the cards. All right, so we're doing this Aquarius reading for Stray Panther, for Mr. Gardner here. Where my Aquarius is at. Chokmah. The domain of Chokmah is the 12 archetypes. Oh, look at that. English Toffee says, hi, Richard Tracy. I know you from another platform. Nice to see you here. All right, let's begin this reading. Whoop. It's a whole lot more comfortable if I shuffle these cards on this side. All right, Richard Tracy, Sunshine Chick just posted the link again. It's the Barbieri Zodiac Oracle. Thank you again, Sunshine Chick. All right, can I do this with my arms stretched out? Yes, I can. Here we go. What do the ancestors have to say to the homie Stray Panther? What are the ancestors? Oh, then I said something. What's the message that we're getting from the divine at this time? For one of my favorite Aquarius people. Ooh, almost jumped out. Gotta have that deck control. Go. Let's see what these first two jumping out the plastic have to say. So first, Matthew Watson, peace. Ramen Noodle 6 says, what does the Gemini card look like? I'm a Gemini. It's the Lover's card. Now, the Lover's card in this deck is actually different from the traditional. It's not the Adam and Eve and the Garden of Eden. But yeah, it's the Lover's card. Let's do it. So, to begin, we've got the Six of Swords. Earned success. Now, let's talk about this earned success, right? This message coming through to you from the ancestors in regards to these next couple of days, especially this powerful new moon energy. Earned success. Now, this is success, but it came with a sacrifice. This is success, but it came with a little bit of pain. Oh, he was talking about the Oracle deck. My bad. What's the Gemini card look like? Feast your eyes. This is what the Gemini card looked like. More on that later. So, earned success. This is success that has to do with, like I said, it has to do with a sacrifice. Something had to be overcome. Now, the way that that's illustrated is, and by the way, this is Mercury in Aquarius. So we understand this. Look at Candace grabbing the sword by the blade, not by the head. So you won, but at what cost? Right? That's this kind of energy right here. You won, but at what cost? And I feel like as I say that, you know what I'm talking about. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. What astrology book is that? It's the Kabbalistic Tarot by Robert Wang. So you won, but at what cost, right? The grabbing the sword by the blade. Now, there's all kind of ways you can grab that sword. That's got to be the most painful way. But you won, right? Lord of earned success. You had to work for it. Now, what came next? This jumped out as well. The Nine of Wands. Yesod and Atziluth. We're dealing with the Sun in Sagittarius. This is called the Lord of Great Strength. Notice all the different kinds of wands, right? So we're talking about, in a way, having mastered different types of energy, different types of spiritual energy. And maybe not mastered as in like being the master, but being able to proficiently utilize different ways to harness your energy, right? You've got one of these swords with the sun on it, one of these swords with the serpent on it, one with a bird skull, one with a crystal, one with an arrow. This represents that you've been down this path of having different kinds of experiences. You're very eclectic in your learning. Very eclectic in your learning. Excuse me, this was the moon in Sagittarius. So there's a lot of experiences that you're able to draw from here when it comes to this earned success. There's a lot of experiences that you're going to be able to draw from for this earned success. But let's get a little bit more clear on it. Let's get a little bit more clear on what we're talking about here. Four of Swords, Lord of Rest from Strife. And if I'm not mistaken, I think you literally mentioned this card in the chat a few minutes ago. Four of Swords, Lord of Rest from Strife. So look, let's talk about this earned success. There's some kind of struggle, some type of battle. There's something that requires your intention, right? Something that requires your intention, that you're putting forth effort. And it's a hurdle to overcome, right? And you're probably banged up by it a little bit, but you're getting there. You're getting there. This is a success that you literally had to work for, and some things are lost in the process. I think if I recall your previous reading, this kind of sounds a bit similar. Lord of Great Strength, right? So we're talking about this victory, this success that came at a cost. Lord of Great Strength, when you see that Nine of Wands card, you usually see all those wands standing up and the guy kind of leaning on his final stick with the bandage on his head. Again, these are signs of having gone through a lot and gained a lot of experience from this. Now we're talking about rest from strife, right? Rest from strife. So there was strife. There was difficulty. There was a battle. And at this time, we're getting to a point where you can put those things away. You can chill, you can relax. You can gain your energy back. You can gain your mind and your peace back. You can gain your focus back. I'm looking for the astrological symbol on this card. And by the way, also notice the hands aren't holding the swords here. See how the hands are holding the swords here? By the blade. This is a peaceful card. The war is finally at a standstill, right? Rest from strife. So the hands aren't even holding the swords right now. The swords are put together with a shield in front of them. So this rest from strife indicates the battle actually being ceased. Ceasefire. A ceasefire. Notice the first two are swords cards. These are dealing with mental energy. Mental energy. And that first one specifically is Aquarius. Let me look up the astrological sign for this one right here. Louis says, look at that image, so powerful. Can go under real quick scrying on that image. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I like about these cards. These are great for going into trance if you wanted to. Like I said, I just got them, so I didn't get to play with them like that yet. There it is, Libra. Okay, so we're dealing with Jupiter and Libra. So you gotta look at these cards too, because there's a lot of symbols here. So we're talking about an expansion of balance, right? Libra, the scales, balance. Jupiter, expansion. Rest. Let's put the swords away and let's have a moment of peace, moment of silence. Patchwork asks, are personal readings done on stream or in private? On the stream. Give me your sun sign, your moon sign, and your ascendant. All right, so let's pull a fourth one. Lord of Shortened Force. Lord of Shortened Force. So that same Jupiter energy here, now it's going through Gemini. So here's what I'm pulling from this, right? Here's what I'm pulling from this. We've got this earned success, some type of struggle, some type of battle, something that you have been against, right? Doing your best, and there has been a few losses, there's been a few sacrifices, as indicated by the fist grabbing the blade, right? But you won regardless. You won. Now check this out. A little banged up, a little bit bruised, but there's a whole lot that you learned from this, a whole lot that you've taken away from this that you can use spiritually, right? Right now, you're facing a time where you can put the sword away, put the weapons away, and actually start to regain your strength and your peace, right? Notice the fists aren't even holding the swords anymore. The war's over with. It's at a standstill. Now we get to the Lord of Short and Force. Instead of any hands, these are just the blades. And I think what we're dealing with now is whatever the enemy was, whatever that opposition was, it's been stopped in its tracks. And that's probably why there's peace now. Lord of Shortened Force. We're dealing with that same Jupiter energy, like I said, but now it's going through Gemini. It's scattered. Instead of being concentrated, it's scattered. And that's indicated by, look at those circles in the background. They're not complete circles. They're not perfect circles. Instead of them being able to complete their round, it's been stopped. It's been halted. It's been shortened. So whatever the trouble was, it's been stopped in its tracks. Let me know if any of that makes sense to you, if any of that means anything to you. Straight Panther says, I think I know what this is. Okay. This is a pretty cool deck. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty cool deck. Stellar Luna says they were very clever with how they put that Libra symbol. Yeah, it took me a minute. I was looking for it. It took me a minute. Frame Star, peace to you. Louis says, man, I don't even have to be a Taurus or whatever to relate to all this. Yeah, man. W Honey says it means you can't come full circle without the Gemini. That's one way to look at it. Okay, self-development. My sun sign is Cancer. All right. All right. So yeah, like I said, just let me know what you think about that. Straight Panther says, kinda been feeling things. All right. All right, so Patchwork, got you next. We're going to stick with this new deck so we can kind of explore. Patchwork, I got you next on this Kabbalistically inspired tarot reading. And if you would like tarot reading about the energies that are around you right now, about what you can expect for this new moon, or whatever situation you got going on, visit the pinned link in the chat. You can book yourself a reading. We can do it right now, whether through PayPal or through Cash App. Hit me up. We can do a reading. So, Mr. Patchwork, is it Mr. Patchwork? Yeah, Mr. Patchwork. I got you for Cancer Sun. Cancer Sun. Sekhmet 137 says, tell me about my toxic sister-in-law. I need perspective. Absolutely. Just hit me up on that Cash App and let me know your sun, your moon, and your rising. Shuffle, shuffle. All right. Okay. Mr. Patchwork, are you there? Are you there? Patchwork, twerk, patchwork. Segment 137 says, what do I need to do? I came in late. Yeah, hit me up on the Cash App or the PayPal. Send me your moon and your sun and your ascendant if you have those things. Patchwork, for some reason I can't read the rest of your message. I got the Cancer. What was your moon and your ascendant? I'm just kind of stalling so you can send me that information. Okay, there we go. Moon in Libra and ascendant Leo. Cool. Moon in Libra and ascendant Big Leo. Okay, so Cancer, Libra, Leo. All right, and did you have a specific question, or was this more of a general kind of reading? Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Good stuff, good stuff. Whoa. Okay, more so general of what to expect in my journey and self-development. All right, so off rip, 2 cards have jumped out. And these 2 being the Lord of Love and the Lord of Valor. What to expect in your journey of self-development. So I'm seeing a root, a foundation here with this 2 of Cups. This is called the Lord of Love. Shared experience. This is a shared experience. This is an exchange, in particular, an emotional exchange. Now, this card is ruled by Venus in Cancer, and those 2 signs go together extremely well. Extremely well. We know that Venus rules matters of the heart, matters of love, and also comfort and luxury. And to put that together with Cancer, Cancer has a lot to do with feelings of protecting and serving as strength for someone else, or maybe even for some other organization. So what I'm getting from this, I said this is giving me vibes of where your root is. Perhaps some of your motivation for your spiritual study is so that you can help the people that you love, so that you can protect the people that you love, so that you can be a positive force for those people that you care about. Let me know if that resonates. Because it could also be somebody that you're emotionally attracted to being the reason that you got into all this. But I think it might be the first one. You let me know. So here we got the Seven of Wands, Lord of Valor. Now, this fiery type of card represents a warrior, right? Somebody who's able to go into battle without fear of the opposition, without fear of whatever danger might be present. Specifically, we've got Mars in Leo. Now, Mars is very much at home in Leo. Leo's ruled by the sun, but this Mars energy, it's also very fiery. And there's also hints of Sagittarius here. And the Sagittarius hint is what gives all this firepower a focused direction, So to break this down into a more clear terms, at heart, you being a Cancer and getting into this has a lot to do with you wanting to help others, right? To help others, to protect others. And it seems that with that being your motivation, your foundation, and your root, you're able to pull a lot of energy and inspiration from that. You're able to pull a lot of inspiration from that. And that inspiration that gives you focused direction for this energy, this fiery energy that you're able to muster. Now let's get to today. Let's get to what you're doing with that. So what we have here is Prince of the Chariots of the Winds, also known as the King of Swords. So it looks like what's needed at this time for you is extreme focus. Extreme focus. Now, this card is ruled by the air aspect of air. And we know that the air represents the intellectual, the mental. And every element has 4 parts to it: an earthy aspect, a watery aspect, a fiery aspect, and an air aspect. With this being air of air, like I said, we're talking about extremely intellectual. This card has strong hints of Aquarius, right? That's what this up here represents, as well as these little butterfly people, fairies and whatnot. It's time to really sharpen your mental ability, right? To cut through a lot of the noise, a lot of the nonsense. The way that you're going to be able to really master this fiery inspiration energy that you derive from the initial desire to protect and to help those you care about, the way that you're going to really be able to develop that and utilize that in the best way is by sharpening your mind and sharpening your focus. That's what the King of Swords represents. Prince of the Chariots of the Winds. You ride on the winds. That's your air nature. That's your Libra nature. That's your Libra moon. You ride on thoughts and ideas. You're surfing through all of these different ideas. So in order for you to really be proficient there, to be fluent there, to be useful in that territory, you're going to have to focus and sharpen your mental ability so that it is the King of Swords, right? So you don't get lost. Let's keep going. Lord of Success, Unfulfilled. We're talking about the 7 of Pentacles. So it is really easy for you to cut yourself short, right? You might have a tendency to cut yourself short. You probably don't have as much confidence in your abilities yet as you should. We're talking about the energies of Saturn and Taurus. Taurus is very bountiful, very fruitful. But see, Saturn represents limitation, discipline, sometimes death. In this particular case, you can see that these roses, where on other cards are blossoming and full of life, here the life force is being cut short. Here the life force is being cut short. The potential is there, but the Saturn force is very strong. Perhaps you have a tendency to cut yourself short, to be very hard on yourself, right? To not allow yourself to fully blossom. Well, here's the deal. These two represent the root. These two represent your fruit. Remember your root. For you specifically, if your deep inner motivation is to learn what it takes to make sure that the people you care about are safe, to make sure that the people you care about are taken care of in the best way that you can, if that's your root source, Cancer, right? If that's your root energy, right? And from that you get fiery inspiration, right? You know what you want, how to get it. You're fueled to figure that out. If that's you, I need you to remember that. I need you to stay focused on that. I need you to keep directing yourself to that when the self-doubt appears. Remember why you're doing this. Imagine being in a position to help somebody and you actually don't follow through because of self-doubt, right? Then what happens is the person experiences whatever they experience, and you're left with the thought that, man, I could have done something, but I didn't. So the fruit now, it's up to you on your spiritual path to sharpen your mind so you can cut through the nonsense and get straight to what you need to learn. So you can balance what's useful and appropriate from what is useless and inappropriate. And to overcome this tendency to limit yourself. Saturn in Taurus. Taurus is fruitful. Taurus is bountiful. And Saturn is Father Time, the Grim Reaper. Be careful not to cut yourself short. Be careful not to stifle yourself. All right? Let me know how that sounds to you. Peace, Supremacy McCoy. Louis says, sounds like you're talking to me. Hey, it's quite possible. Patchwork says, I do struggle with doubt sometimes. God's Son says, I got 20 for a reading. Well, go ahead and hit up the Cash App and we'll do a reading. Christian says, can you tell me what I do in the future to make $5,000 to buy a dirt bike? Yes. You do OnlyFans. Lots and lots of OnlyFans. You show the world what your mama gave you, and that's what's going to get you your $5,000 to buy that dirt bike. When you set it up, let me know. I'll help you promote. Patchwork says, that was on point, like down to the T accurate. I love it, bro. I love it. Awesome. And like I said, I'm always glad to help. Christian says, I'm 14. Well, that's probably why you're going to make the 5,000. And with that being said, don't send me the link. Cooley High says, are you leading your followers into the mire of desire? Cooley High has been blocked and banned at least 3 times. All right, awesome. So let's see what we got next. What we got next. All right. Peace, MC Maestro. Oh, yeah. Awesome possum. All right, so MC Maestro. Are we going with the Aries Taurus cusp? Shall we go with the Aries Taurus cusp? Oracle of Medusa, peace, peace. Valora, peace, peace. All creations, peace. All right, so you'll have to forgive me, Maestro. I remember your Aries Taurus. What was the rest of it? Valera says not the OnlyFans recommendation. Hey man, some people succeed in that route. Maybe they'll win a lawsuit or something. All right, Cancer Ascendant Scorpio Moon. There we go. I ain't gonna forget it now. Cancer Ascendant. Scorpio Moon. A lot of Cancer energy tonight. All right. Seems like the bots have kind of chilled out lately. Ooh. Fine by me. All right, so let's see where we are going with this. Was this a general read for you, Maestro, or was there a specific direction, specific angle that you wanted to pull from? Jesus, 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 Jesus. I'm showing them who was the high now. Original Pimp, Nasty Funky Pimp, and Stanky Chicken. Willie, Rackham Willie, James Huff. J Panther says, it's cause I'm here. Okay. Well, perhaps I'm not seeing any of the bots and trolls because the Gibera force is extremely preemptive tonight. The mighty sword. The mighty sword. All right. So, Aries, Taurus cusp, Scorpio moon, Cancer ascendant. Peace, Jancy Lewis. Jancy Lewis says, when my Jesus returns. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Maestro says, general, whichever you feel is the force. Let's go with general then. I want to say specific, but let's go with general. Let's go with general. So, what pops out here first is the Four of Pentacles, Lord of earthly power. You may have seen this individual sitting on a throne encased within a wall with the city outside, with both feet on the money, both hands on the money, and the mind on the money. This is called the Lord of earthly power, and this card represents a certain mastery of the fruit of the physical plane, which is the thing we all want more of, can't get enough of. Money, 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 money. Skin Tight XXOXO says your voice is soothing. Thank you. Last Level Boss says devil shit. Bad bitch. Lord of earthly power. So what we're looking at is a certain mastery over the physical plane, which results in the flow of income, right? So what we got here is the sun in Capricorn. We know that Capricorn rules the whole process of making plans and getting things in order, structuring the business, right? Structure, foundation, earth. You'll notice that these pentacles are in the form of two squares that interlock. The big pentacles in this square, the small pentacles in this square. You'll notice also that within each of these pentacles is the synthesis of two opposite forces, right? You got the hexagram and the swastika. And it's a strange symbol. And this particular symbol represents the unification of different types of force. They're placed into stability here. And it is that very stability, which is, what's the word? The virtue. Yeah, this stability is the virtue of Asaya. This is the virtue of Asaya. That's why it results in the Lord of earthly power. Let's continue and see where this goes. Lord of unstable effort. Seven of Swords. So when it comes to this unstable effort, we have something that is attempted to be put together, but it's not really gonna last the test of time. Mainly because the energies used are imbalanced. Now, the root, where you're coming from, is a very balanced place. A very balanced place, very stable place, and I'm not so sure that what this card is referring to is a wise decision. We've got the moon in Aquarius. We got the moon in Aquarius. Now, that's where the moon is currently. Take a special look at whatever you initiated today about, what time is it? What time is it? 10:30, so about 3 hours ago, whatever you initiated about 3 hours ago, consider that. Consider that. Might not be the best option for longevity. Each of these swords are shaped differently. And while they are currently pictured in a state of harmony and balance, it's not going to last. Because the moon changes too rapidly. And Aquarius is fixed in its rebellion. It's an oxymoron. It's a fixed sign, but it's fixed in the fact that it doesn't want things to be fixed. It's fixed against itself, so to speak. Sun in Capricorn, moon in Aquarius. Queen of Wands, Queen of the Thrones of Flame. So right now, possibly, the energies are a bit scattered. They're a bit scattered. They're not completely wild and reckless like the knight charging on his horse. It's not wild and reckless like that. It is somewhat distilled, somewhat tempered and tamed, but they're not really being pointed in a direction that's going to lead to their continued burning, so to speak. So far, I'm getting the energy of whatever this plan is, it has very good points, or whatever this activity is, whatever this thing is, it has a lot of great points, but I don't think it's finished cooking. I don't think it's finished cooking. So far, we're getting the influence of Capricorn, the influence of Aquarius, the influence of Leo. What else do we have here? Princess of the Shining Flame. In fact, not only is this not finished cooking, the best choice is probably to go back to the drawing board and perhaps redesign how this thing is working out. It's probably a better idea to redesign and make sure that all the parts of this machine are well grounded. Well grounded. Now we have Aries, as you can see. Cardinal Aries, which means initiate. Let's start over. Let's start over. MC Maestro says, I get this damn princess a lot. Let's start over. I think the equipment, the material, the resources that you have are excellent. The structure needs more work. The structure needs more work. You're starting off on a great foot. The structure, the designs, the mental planning needs more work so that the energy can flow most efficiently. The energy is going to flow, but it's not sustainable for the long run. Go back to the drawing board, ground the equipment to ensure that the energy is going to flow in the best possible way. Abutukum says, tits, hell yeah, I'm about to bust. Oh, that's the name. Gotcha. I'm gonna give you a special gift. First class ticket to out my fucking face. That Gorillas Tico says, shout me out for heart spam and I'll sub. You gotta have more self-respect, man. Why would you come in here so desperate like that? All right, let's pull one more. Let's pull one more. You offering to do something strange for a piece of change. Dr. Strange. Dr. Strange. Let's pull one more to see how the energies of this process can like really culminate. MC Maestro says, man came in here and said, I got these cheeseburgers. I was gonna say that. That Gorillas Tico, I'm gonna give you a first class ticket as well to out my face. No desperate energy here, my buddy. Come back and you get a little bit of self-respect, because I can get what you offer elsewhere, better quality. Wipe yourself off. Put your pants on. All right, let's do one more. Let's do one more. So, I'm getting the feeling that whatever it is that you're asking about needs to be tweaked just a little bit. It's good, but it can be better. How about this? Lord of Short and Force. Perhaps you might need to kind of reel it back a little bit. Perhaps you might need to tone it down a bit. Maybe, just maybe, the design flaw might be in that you're pushing too hard. JD Temple, peace, brother, peace. JD Temple says, terrific stream. Awesome possum. Awesome possum. If you haven't seen JD's channel, I highly recommend you click on his name real quick and go hit that subscribe. Get yourself some high quality occult information. Maestro, tell me what you think about this. Tell me if it makes sense to you, if any of this is relevant. I love it. Beautiful. Oh. Beautiful. Gosh almighty. Where did I put that lighter? Oh, that's one thing I don't miss, man. Lighters and crystals sure have a way of just getting up and getting the fuck on. Especially when you need them. Oh, there you are, hiding next to my Gemini card. Spark one up for the homies. Spark one up for the homies. Allow the incense smoke to penetrate the phone lens and cleanse your space. See, the beautiful thing about the astral and the etheric plane is that it is not dimension dependent. Doesn't matter where you are. Doesn't really matter what time it is. If your mind can focus, you can connect to any point in reality. Past, present, future, up, down, left, right, yesterday, tomorrow. The physical body is limited by time and space, but not the other parts of you. You know that. Your host, Muslim mystic. Peace, brother, peace. Maestro says it is. With the new job, I launched hella NLP and other energy at it. Nothing's coming, but I had the inclination to tone it back and let the business come to me. Okay. So yeah, definitely, I could see that. Good intention, good start. Maybe restructure, redesign exactly what techniques and how you're going about it. Right? What's a good way to do this? It's almost like you're digging a hole, right? Looking for gold or something, and you start digging about halfway down, you start getting a thought that maybe I should have done a little bit more research because I'm probably off the mark. And you can keep going and chance it, or you can kind of just stop, count your losses, go back to the map, plan it out, and then go in a more refined direction. That way you can have much more confidence in the direction that you're going, and you're probably going to strike gold or oil a lot sooner. Yeah, it's simply a rerouting. Same initial process, like same route and everything. Just the structure might need to be realigned a little bit. Back to the drawing board. This isn't a bad thing at all. Straight Panther says, is it too late to sign up for the cyclomancy class? No, actually. I'm gonna say something that I was gonna actually save for tomorrow. I mentioned that the focus challenge, I was re-inspired, right? Was gonna do the cyclomancy class. I think I'm gonna push it back again, but with good reason. Right now we've got this amazing alignment in the sky, so I'm gonna offer like a little 2-week, 3-week workshop that's like the focus challenge to really reignite the passion to study, the passion to research and do all the things that you want to do to get back on your spiritual game. I'm really feeling this motivation like hardcore. I'm doing a whole lot more this week than I've done the past couple of months. And I think that this kind of energy is available to everybody. So yeah, I'm going to do like a type of focus challenge workshop here for the remainder of the month to help people and myself to really build out, flesh out resources that can be used for the rest of the year. I'm talking about emotional resources, conceptual resources, to really work on some game plans, to really dig into like the meat and the heart of what we really actually want, not just no surface level stuff. And yeah, I'm talking about some deep NLP. But yeah, I'm going to offer that tomorrow. get that thing started, figure out if I want to do Discord or whatever. But right after that, we're going to jump back into the Psychomancy class, I promise. Ardquark says, I got the Nag Champa flowing over here as well. Hell yeah. What says, lighters and crystals like to run and hide. Tricky little shits. Yeah, man. Lighters and crystals. I guess the gnomes and the fairies. The gnomes and the fairies. All right. I'm really digging this deck. Hell yeah. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Cool beans. Salamanders. Patchwork says, I got some dragon's blood going over here. It's awesome. I love it. The connection, the correspondence. All right, so check it out. Would anyone else like to go for a reading? Because if not, probably going to do a general reading. Probably going to take a fortnight break because I've been going hard the past couple days, and I want to catch Fortnite before that new update happens. I still got a few challenges I need to knock out. But yeah, if anybody else wants a reading before I tap out, hit me up on that Cash App. Like I said, I might do a general reading here real quick, simply because I really like this new deck. I want to explore some more of the images here. But other than that, I'm about to nerd out on some Fortnite. And then get back to my NLP. I was doing some techniques last night. Shit. Like I was telling Maestro, man, the pleasure expansion. Like, imagine being able to really lay out and map out the things that bring you pleasure and make you happy, and to really expand it and dissect it and unpack it so that you can see exactly what makes you happy and why it makes you happy and what kind of happy it makes you. Analyze the triggers of that happiness. And then here's the cool part. After you analyze the root of that, like say for example, you could take any pleasure. And usually when we say pleasure, one thing comes to mind for most of us. And think about why. Not even why, but like, what's pleasurable about it, right? What makes it pleasurable to you? Do you feel like, what's the positive meaning behind that pleasure, right? What's the positive meaning behind that pleasure? When you really unpack pleasure and the mechanics of it, like what triggers it for you, how do you maintain it and perpetuate it? What do you do when it's finished, right? If you can literally unpack all of that like a thing that you take apart and unpack, then you can take something that you don't feel pleasure about. Like say, for example, what I used it on specifically was I wanted to get back reading like I used to. Like I wanted to be digging into these texts for hours at a time, really absorbing information and putting stuff together. I wanted to get back into that because I found that since I kind of stopped, my attention span kind of shrunk. So I'm using this NLP to get myself back to where I want to be. So I unpacked the pleasure, and then I took the concept of studying and reading a book. Like I actually sat down at my desk and like I pulled out a thick ass book that would kind of give me like that subconscious anxiety because it's like, how the fuck am I going to read all this? No, I sat down and I went into that pleasure state, right? And I thought about the triggers and the keys and the codes of how I initiate and trigger my pleasure, how I perpetuate my pleasure, and what I do after it. And I just took the raw feelings, right? Because here's the thing. The things that you have pleasure, the things that you get pleasure from, whether it's eating a delicious meal or, doing the things that make you feel really good, don't worry about the actual physical part. Focus on the energy that it gives you. Focus on the feelings. Focus on like the actual moment of pleasure. And you extract that like surgery and you plant it into that other thing. In this case, this was me actually studying and reading the book and learning. And I put the pleasure into it. And I tell you, when I did that trance just right, I sat there and I dug through that book till the sun came up. Till the sun came up. I'm talking about like 4 hours. Like I used to. This stuff works, man. This stuff really works. So I'm going to do some more of that. Like I said, give myself a little fortnight break. Ooh, look what jumped out. All right, collective reading. By the way, MC Maestro, I got you. Adam, I got you. This is a general reading here for the collective, right? Oh shoot. Maestro says I'm gonna buy some Dragon's Crypt. Richard Tracy says, I've got a 2-hour session booked tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Can I still join the Focus Challenge after that? Absolutely. To be honest, I think I'm going to initiate it on the new moon. I think that just makes more sense because we got the new moon coming up. We'll probably hold the first session on the new moon and just play it out for the rest of the month with a couple of exercises, some guided meditations, and all the NLP stuff that I've been using on myself that's been working beautifully. All right, so general reading here. General reading. First card pulled is the Emperor. Now we're tapping back into this Aries type of energy, the initiating type of energy. Son of the morning. Son of the morning, the initiator, the light bringer. Notice how this particular magician has all the tools of the trade, but he's not just in the laboratory by himself. He's casting his spell on the world. He's establishing his reign. Look at all of the different forces of nature he has behind him. He's got the Aries ram. He's got the Scorpio eagle. He's got the bee, right? And we think about what these animals represent. The bee, when you think about the bee, this is a creature of organization and discipline and consistency and building and building and building, right? We got the son of the morning, the light bringer, the initiator. General reading, how does this apply to you? We're getting it started. We're getting it cracking, right? We are pulling this powerful force down and using it. So check this out. Next, we got the Five of Swords. This is the Lord of Defeat. This is the Lord of Defeat. Now let's analyze this card. Let's take a good look at it. What do we see here? Look at the hilt of these swords. What do you see? JD Temple says, thank you, Travis. You rock. Peace, bro. You rock as well. MC Maestro said the 4 orbs are the 4 elements. The bottom 2 are towards and away from. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yes, that's a good point. So those 4 orbs, the 4 elements, after they've been modified and formed into his will, right? Cool shit. So when looking at this Five of Swords, what we have here, look at those birds as the hilt. You got the dove and the swan. Those are 2 symbols of Venus, right? You see Venus right there. Then I'm seeing an eagle, and I'm not sure what that bird is. But those are 2 signs of Aquarius. And of course, we got the man in the middle. That's Aquarius as well. And you see above there, eggs are being cracked and broken. Venus and Aquarius, Lord of Defeat. Let's think about the Venus energy. Like I mentioned before, love and nurturing and support and caring. We've got Aquarius. This is a fixed air sign. Rebellion. Not always bad, but Aquarius is not going to go with the flow, not going to go with the paradigm the structure that's already laid out. Aquarius is going to do something different. It's going to change up the game. It's going to try to make something new. Now, when it comes to love, as far as romantic love, in that sense, things can be quite difficult. Quite difficult. So, just to put it together, here we have the Magus, who has taken the raw power of the universe and they're starting to form it and put it into order, starting to build, starting to construct. But we've got to remember, right? We've got to remember, like I said also, he's standing on this eagle, an Aquarius type of sign. Now we've got Venus in Aquarius. Perhaps, if his foundation or her foundation is that of a romantic nature, this might not be the best time for that kind of business. This might not be the best time for that kind of business. In other words, the magic, the energy, the power that's coming down now and being formed might be best suited for everything except romance and that kind of thing. Let's keep going. General reading here. Seven of Cups, Lord of Illusionary Success. In fact, this card may be for somebody that's trying to do some kind of love spell, right? This may be a reading for somebody that's trying to do some type of enchantment magic, some type of green Venus magic. If you're trying to do some green Venus magic, let me know in the chat. This might be specifically for you. Next, we pulled the Seven of Cups. This is also dealing with the emotional stuff. Lord of Illusionary Success. This is typically the card that you see when they've got all those cups in front of them with all the bunch of trinkets and stuff in it. Here's the deal. It looks like whoever this reading is for, this general reading, you're probably getting distracted by the potentialities that look so good and so wonderful. You're daydreaming and you're seeing yourself doing this, that, and the third, but what you don't realize is that there's no substance to it. We've got Venus in Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is not very kind to Venus. Not very kind to Venus. Where Aquarius and Venus, Aquarius is probably just mostly in its head with no time for the romantic, emotional stuff. No time for all that. The Scorpio is actually a little bit more cruel. Not simply ignoring Venus, but teasing and torturing Venus. Notice how only the central cup has this divine hand of providence holding the roots. But notice how the flowers are all pointed at those other cups, but they're all empty. It's almost like a tease. It's almost like you could be getting something, but you're really not. And you're too distracted, too brainwashed, too mindless to see that I'm dangling a carrot in front of you. That's what this card is saying. Lord of Illusionary Success. So far, general reading, what I'm getting is that perhaps somebody thinks they're really making some ground doing their magic, doing their ritual or whatever, but it's probably pointed in the wrong direction, especially if it's emotionally fueled. If it's emotionally fueled, as in like I said, you're trying to do some love magic or whatever, this is not the time for that. Not the time for that. Let's keep going. Prince of the Chariot of Fire. This is the King of Wands. The King of Wands. King of Wands. What I'm getting from this is that, and I often see a pattern with my reads, how the last card relates to the first card. There is an intense potential for focus right now. There's an intense potential to utilize this energy to burn a hole through reality and create something new. Edgon says, y'all swear y'all into astrology, but can't even name the planets in order. Y'all coming here with like the lamest stuff. Like, you couldn't think of nothing more challenging or more like feather ruffling. Like, that's literally the best you have, bro. Like, I'm embarrassed for you. I think it would have been more embarrassing to leave that comment unblocked. I don't know how you found this channel, but you definitely don't need to be here. Name the planets in order? We talking about high science, and you talk about name the planets in order. me scroll up, see what I missed. J Bald Hill says green penis magic. What? No, green Venus magic. Venus. Netzach. Patchwork says, what did Venus do to Scorpio? It's not even about that. It's just that when they get together, when these signs get together, usually when signs and planets get together, you can almost see it as like an actor in a specific role. Each planet can be seen as an actor, and each sign can be seen as a role. In this particular case, Venus is playing the role of, like I said, being teased, being tortured, suffering from delusion. Delulu is the word y'all are using these days. Delulu. That's the role that Venus is playing with this energy. With this energy, we're dealing with the airy nature of fire, the intellectual nature of spiritual inspiration. This is abundantly available to everybody. So I think that there are some people who are utilizing this energy, but probably not for the most useful and appropriate reasons. If that's you and you know who you are, because you can feel it, it's not going to be a surprise. That's the thing about working with magic and spiritual energy. You have a certain sense of intuition that tells you you're going in the right direction or not. But what some of us do is that we get that feeling that perhaps we're going in the wrong direction and we ignore it. Well, duh, you got those feelings for a reason. You got those feelings for a reason. Check your intention. Check where you're at right now. Oracle of Medusa says Venus is not exalted or celebrated in that sign. So that's the technical explanation for that. Venus is not exalted in Scorpio. That's why she's being in that role. Ramen Noodle says, yo, I left an hour ago and I stumbled back on this live. That's wild. I'm not sure what you expected. Okay, so to that person out there who is utilizing these forces for a non-useful and non-appropriate intention, final card, Queen of the Thrones of the Earth, Queens of Pentacles. It's really time to analyze your roots and actually ground yourself on something stable. As we noticed, the Son of the Morning, this Emperor card, his ground, he's standing on an eagle, which is constantly moving, constantly moving. In this particular case, you're gonna want to make sure that you're grounded on something very stable, very solid. Notice that the astrological force behind this is Aries, the ram, right? You see that a lot here. Aries behind him in the subconscious mind and Aries in his hands in the physical world. You'll also see here that this is the, what is that up there? You see a sheep? And then you see these people with their horns. I believe that this is actually ruled by Capricorn. So take that cardinal fire energy and make sure that you plant it in something a little bit more stable. A little bit more stable. All right, that was the general reading. General reading. Let me know if that what's the word? Resonates. Let me know if that resonates with anybody out there. Because next. Aardquark. Let me know your sun, your moon, and your ascendant. Your sun, your moon, and your ascendant. Aardquark. Interesting night. Let me tell you. Aardquark. If you're there, I require your sun, your moon, your ascendant, or whatever those you do have. Okay, there we go. So, and also if you have a specific reading or like a specific question, or if you have a would like a general for yourself. Anna Molly says, my toddler literally spelled out sheep 1 second before you said it. I love it. Anna Molly says, that was a good reading for me, the general. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you. Aardquark, Virgo sun, Virgo moon, Pisces rising. Pisces rising. Aardquark says, what type of experience should I expect after my first year of teaching this year? Jupiter Scales says, excellent reading. It confirms what I was feeling. Awesome. Listen, thank you all for the feedback. Seriously, because, you know, just kind of doing this, reaching up into the space of the astral and pulling out information and making interpretations. The feedback helps to let me know that I am going in the right direction with you. I can tell when the reading relates to me and I can tell when it doesn't. I think that particular one didn't really relate to me, so the feedback helps to, you know, let me know that this is useful and appropriate to you. Okay, so Aardquark says, what type of experience should I expect after my first year of teaching this year? Thanks for your readings and extensive knowledge, Trav. My pleasure. My pleasure. I do this because I enjoy it, as I said before. And there's that pleasure word again, right? I don't know if any of you caught what I dropped as far as the pleasure NLP, but if you did catch that, perhaps you should try it, like as soon as you can. Try to unpack what makes you feel good and apply it to something that you need to do that doesn't make you feel good, so that you can hack your brain and feel good about what you need to do and get it done. Because boy, oh boy, how quickly do we run to the things that bring us pleasure, right? If you know you got something nice waiting for you at home when you get off of work, when it's time to clock out, you are going to run to that car, speed past a couple of stop signs to make sure that you can get to that thing or that person. that kind of energy, that kind of pleasure. Imagine being able to extract it and use it whenever you want. Aardquark says pleasures can become vices. That's true, but this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying extract the feeling separate from the object that causes it. There's a trigger, and then there's a feeling that you get. Take the trigger away and just have the feeling and attach a new trigger to it. That's what I'm talking about. And guess what? It can work in the reverse. If you have pleasure attached to a trigger that you don't want anymore, you can literally pull the pleasure out, take the trigger away, and apply it to something new. For example, smoking or drinking or drugs, doing something like that, right? You can literally extract the pleasure and apply it to a different trigger. And that's how you can rapidly quit something cold turkey, right? This stuff is real. I've done it to myself plenty of times. I'm talking about you can move on to the point where you don't look back anymore. You don't crave it or nothing because you've replaced the trigger. We're simple creatures, y'all. We are not these complex. We're simple creatures. Ask as many questions as you can in the direction of what's important about that, right? What brings you pleasure? Oh, I get a lot of pleasure from ordering some fancy sushi and sitting it down in front of me and eating with my chopsticks while listening to Beethoven's Seventh Symphony, second movement. Super specific, huh? All right, then you can say, well, what's important about that? Well, it gives me an opportunity to really be at peace and to feel fancy and to let this classical music kind of just take my mind away and enjoy the subtle tastes of this expertly crafted sushi and, get a little bit of that ethnicity stuff with the chopsticks. What's important about that? Well, I feel like after all my hard work, I deserve a moment to relax and enjoy and indulge. What's important about that? Well, to be able to relax and enjoy and indulge is how I can keep my mind healthy, how I can stay balanced. What's important about that? Well, in order for me to stay balanced and stay healthy is how I can extend my lifespan in a useful and appropriate manner, how I can show up and do my work, show up for my family in such a way that I won't be angry or frustrated or pissed off. What's important about that? Well, I want to be the best me that I can for the people in my life. What's important about that? Well, I've had someone in my life who wasn't there for me. What's important about having someone there for you, right? You see how these questions start getting further away from the sushi? The trigger is damn near meaningless once you learn how to do this. This is the art and science of the mental plane. So if you're able to slice out, carve out, and remove the pleasure from the trigger, you can reverse the process and attach it to another trigger. Somebody heard what I said? Jay Baldhill says, I love when I have new books and a tasty little treat waiting for me at home after work. Facts. Facts. Somebody heard what I said. Straight Panther says, visualization and zoning out is key. Oh yeah, but it's even better when you can add your physiology to it. Say, for example, you do that whole process that I just mentioned, right? You can stay right here and envision yourself eating sushi. Then when I say what's important about that, you zoom out and take a step back. And then you state what's important about that. Then you ask yourself again, what's important about that? You step back. And what you're doing is you're stepping out of that state that's over here of you eating sushi. And when it's time to reprogram a new trigger, you can step back into it and put a new trigger there. I'm literally telling y'all something that people pay hundreds of dollars to have done for them in therapy. Society Eject says, I don't think they realize you're passing out the sauce. I know they don't, and that's fine. Like I said, somebody hears me. It's probably one or two people that's going to be able to use that information. But that's okay. This won't be the last time that you hear me talk about that kind of thing. For some of y'all, it ain't the first. Ace says, great example. You really have to ask those questions like a child asks why. Absolutely. Listen to me. When you do it yourself, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's literally as if you're digging into your subconscious mind and you start getting closer to the sensitive part. There's going to be a point where you get so close to the sensitivity that you're going to be scared and you're going to back away. It sounds ridiculous. You'll say, oh no, that's not me. But you haven't done this process. When you dig deep into yourself, when you start getting close to those sensitive emotions, it'll make you run away because you don't want to tamper with it. This is mental engineer stuff. This is magic stuff right here. Jupiter Scale says, I think thanks to this, I figured out what I've been doing wrong in my rituals. Possibly. Possibly. All right, so let's get to this first reading. Who was it? Oh, that's right. Virgo, Pisces. Here we go. Virgo, Pisces. Here we go. No, I'm gonna give you 10 out of 10. Baby, it's something you can't forget. Baby, all night again and again. Yeah. Oh, wow. All right, here we go. First card, right? You were asking oh my gosh, I gotta stroll all the way back up to the question you asked. What type of experience should I expect after my first year of teaching? Here we go. This is what you can expect after your first year of teaching. right. So, your first year of teaching, what to expect after that. Aardquark, listen up. Nine of Swords, Lord of Despair and Cruelty. All right, not too many ways to sugarcoat this. The Mars energy in Gemini. See, this is the dark side of Gemini. To be cruel, to know exactly how to inflict a certain kind of anguish. All right, to know how to deliver pain through communication. Lord of Despair and Cruelty. These swords are mangled, twisted, and bent. The intention of these swords, no matter how you spin it, cannot be good. Cannot be good. All right. Now, this is your question, your reading. You will know exactly, or I should say at least generally, what this is pointing to. But the Lord of Despair and Cruelty, Mars and Gemini, this is the dark side, the cruel side of communication. Words that maim, not words that hurt, words that maim. Me trying to resist saying mean things to the trolls because they don't really deserve it. They know not what they do. But I try to give them a little bit of spice, not too much, because words can hurt, right? If you, the thing about communication and this dark side of Gemini, this linguistic warfare, is that if you know what to say, you can really fuck somebody's day up. If you know what to say. See, everyone has something they're sensitive about. And for some people, the sensitivity is specific. It's even more intense with a specific person. You might have a friend that is maybe a hater, but you don't realize it because it's your quote unquote friend, and they may know exactly what to say to hurt your feelings, or vice versa. You might be that person. You might be a parent, grandparent, aunt, co-worker, lover, right? Artwork says, LOL, I had a hell of a Mars retrograde in Gemini 4th house this past year. Unforgettable. That speaks to me immediately. Okay. So let's go with the next card here. Next, we got the Six of Pentacles, Lord of Material Success. Hey, even though whatever that event was happened, it obviously wasn't the end of you, and it didn't really damage you in the long run. Not like that. Lord of Material Success, you see the flower being offered. You see the buds and the blossoming. There's growth here. Again, this is Moon and Taurus. We pulled this card earlier. Here's that strange force of the swastika within the hexagram, right? The different forces aligning together, providing a sense of stability with a lean towards abundance. So that's why it's called the Lord of Material Success, the Moon and Taurus. Planting, right, the gardening and sowing crops and reaping the spoils has a lot to do with the cycles of the moon. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. Also, props to you, Starlion. Props to you. It is difficult, but you did it. Wheel of Fortune, Lord of the Forces of Life. This is the card of karma. This is the card of the entire zodiac. This is the card that is represented by Jupiter itself. Jupiter itself. Expansion. Expansion. Chance. Luck is on your side. Luck is on your side. Luck is on your side. You can trust that whatever it is that you've put into rotation, whatever it is that you put into rotation, whatever investments you made, right? Whatever you planted at the correct time, Moon and Taurus, right? Whatever you've invested here lately, recently, and hopefully it's an investment in yourself, it's going to circulate and it's going to grow and it's going to feed you. So look, the foundation, maybe this is something that kind of prompted you to get into this line of work, right? I'm not sure. But I know that you said that you know exactly what this is, right? So I'll let you deal with that part. But what it looks like is that moving forward, we've got growth. We've got growth, like I said, that leads towards abundance and adding more to it. That's a great thing. And you've got luck on your side. You've got luck on your side. Artquark says, I've literally been planting crops in my backyard and lots of investments into my career in teaching. Well, it looks like you made those investments at the right times. It's been either, I don't know if you've been studying and calculated it, or if you kind of just went off of intuition. Whatever you did, that way works for you. Because like I said, you got luck on your side. Let's pull one more to kind of see how this is going, because you asked, what's to come of this. Six of Cups, Lord of Pleasure. I love this because for my people, I'm pulling these good cards, right? These pleasant cards, these fun cards. Six of Cups, Lord of Pleasure. We saw earlier where Venus and Scorpio and these cups, it was like an illusion. It was teasing. We saw earlier where Venus was with Aquarius and the head was separated from the heart. Well, here we've actually got the sun in Scorpio. The sun in Scorpio. Now, one thing about Scorpio, it doesn't just rule death, it also rules sex and transformation. And the sun having to do with the personality, the ego, the solid sense of self. The good thing about this card is that it is filling itself. We've been talking about pleasure this whole live stream, Lord of Pleasure. Notice how this hand of fortune is grasping and holding on to these lilies and these plants and these flowers, to where the Seven of Cups and the Eight of Cups were empty. These cups are full, overflowing. Like I said before, this Six of Pentacles, right? The Six of Pentacles, it's not just growth, but it's growth leaning towards abundance. And that's what we have here. That's what we have here. Good signs for you. Keep doing what you're doing. Artquark says, Jupiter has been a very prominent force in the past year. I've been repeating the Jupiter mantra more than any other mantra every day. Hey, hey, this is the energy that I'm pulling for you. It's working. Stick with it. Stick with it. Don't drop it. Don't switch it up. That's the thing about mantras too. Now, the more that you repeat them, the stronger their influence gets in your life. Keep it up. Society Ejects, thank you. I got you. Society Ejects says, I just sent a cash app. Close me out for tonight. I was going to get one for me, but do one for my wife. Okay. I know she an Aries. All right. Perfect, perfect. We will do one for your wife. We will do one for your wife. Let's see. All right, so Artquark, let me know if that gives you some insight, if that answers your question. Let me know if that resonates with you. Good stuff, good stuff. All right, all right. All right, so to wrap it up, we've got MC Maestro, and then we've got a reading for Society Eject's wife. Artquark says, wow, wow, wow. That's no joke. Thanks, Travis. Keeping the pleasure frequency alive over here. Hell yeah, hell yeah. I'm telling you, what I dropped about that pleasure is definitely something that everyone should try, especially if there's work to be done and you know that you get anxiety, that you're procrastinating. This is a procrastination killer. This is a procrastination destroyer. Like I said, it's some things that bring you pleasure that you will happily shell out money for, right? You will speed home to get to it. Imagine if you could take that same energy and apply it to something that normally you procrastinate about. It will change your life. It would change your life. I'm definitely going to include that in the workshop that I'm going to be doing here for the rest of this month. Absolutely. All right. MC Maestro, are you present? Are you present? Are you here? Here we go, yo. Say what's the scenario? I really like these cards. These I don't know. This deck has the potential to be my new favorite. Don't get me wrong now. I highly enjoy the Ceremonial Magic deck by La Mala Duquette, but this one I got just because I thought, okay, it might be cool, but now that I'm actually working with it, it's very cool. Very cool. All right, MC Maestro, let me know what the question is for you. Let me know what the question is for you. Aries, Taurus, cusp. Cancer, moon. No. Oh my gosh, I always get this part mixed up. I know Cancer and Scorpio. Scorpio moon, that's it. Scorpio moon, Cancer, rising. Patchwork says, I'm definitely trying that pleasure technique. I needed this. Awesome, brother, awesome. MC Maestro says, the last reading was charged by my thoughts, a heavy lot, but I'm ready for a true general reading. Okay, I see. All right. Nice. I see what's going on here. I see what you're doing. It's monster time. It's monster time. Artquare says that Hermetic deck is for real. Duquette deck is on fire as well. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the and not the or. I love them both. One is not better. They both are pretty badass. Especially when you know the symbols that are all over them. Link1111 says, Travis, I just found you. What's your message and theme? You know. I'm trying my best not to say something smart ass. Come on. Lock it in, Travis. I talk about occult, magic, spirituality stuff. I mean, you know. If you want to utilize what you know of as magic to change your life and make things better for you, to unlock the greatest aspect of yourself, then you might find my content appealing to you and useful and appropriate to you. If you're someone who prefers to, you know, let the world and social media and culture tell you how to live and what to do with your time, then this channel is probably not for you. Either way, I'm getting it in. With my monster in my hand. Time to get it in. Glittery dagger and all. That's how I get down. Nooney's Universe says, I've been binge watching the Kabbalion series. I love it. The 10-hour plus videos really help me get through work. I remember those days, like when I used to have my headphones in listening to Brother Panic, Bobby Hemmett for hours and hours while at work. That was probably the best way to spend work, on the clock, getting paid, doing whatever menial task, but also getting that knowledge. Those 9-hour lectures came in clutch when I had to deal with those overnight shifts, that's for sure. Link 1111 says, I'm serious. I found you on random. Somehow your vlog appeared out of nowhere. Wise Kuya. Yeah, been doing some newfound techniques with the algorithm. So that's probably why you found me randomly. But use your intuition. If you resonate with this, stick around. It'll probably take you way further than anywhere else you'll go. If it doesn't resonate with you, don't waste your time. I don't know you, so I couldn't make the judgment. But hopefully this is something that you find useful and appropriate. All right, MC Maestro, are you ready? I think you're ready. I think we're ready. All right, I'm gonna clear my mind and become magnetic. I'm still working on my Padmasana. It might take me another 3 months. All right. Wonderful. I should do this more often. All right. My cyclomancy is activated. A couple cards have jumped out. All right, let's do this. The real general reading begins. 5 of Cups, Lord of Loss and Pleasure. And here we're dealing with Mars and Scorpio. This is one of those cards where they say the bigger the giant, the harder the fall. This is that card that Initiation into Hermetics talked about where... No, it was the Kabbalion, actually. I think it was both. The magician who has the biggest fall is the one who reached the greatest heights. This type of loss here has something to do with making a decision that probably wasn't the best decision. It was a decision that was more focused and geared towards the lower natures, more focused and geared towards the material plane. And because of that, a few things have been lost from the inventory. These cups are also empty, and they're also blackened. This has left a mark. This has left a lesson that cannot be forgotten. The vine still grows. All is not lost. All is not lost. But what is lost will serve as a reminder from henceforth. Mars in Scorpio. Mars in Scorpio. You ever pissed off a Scorpio? You ever had a Scorpio try to get revenge? They can be a little extra. They can go a bit overboard. They can remember and bring up stuff that you probably wish that they forgot in that moment. Look who makes a reappearance for your specific reading. Next we have the 7 of Swords, Lord of Unstable Effort. Lord of Unstable Effort, we talked about this. Structures, plans, devices, frameworks that may be good in the present, but in the long run, it's not going to hold up. Not going to hold up. So let's go to this next one. And this jumped out in a clump, by the way. These 3 cards jumped out in a clump. This also was a card that pulled for you in the last reading. I don't think that this is one that you can escape. Maybe you didn't like what you heard previously. Maybe you didn't like what you heard previously, but the same exact energy is here. The same exact energy is here from the reading that I just did for you. Hey man, we all been there. We all been, especially if you have pulled tarot cards. If you've done it yourself, you shuffle them up, and you get a little card that you don't like. You look around to make sure nobody's looking, and you put it back in the deck, and pull a different one out and say, "Yeah, that's more like it." Hell, you saw I did that at the beginning of this live stream. A card jumped out. It was the Page of Wands. I said, "Nah, put it back," and she literally jumped back out. Like, this is, I don't know what other people are doing. Other people, they might just be playing around. But this is enlightened and initiated tarot. We're not playing with cards here. We're interpreting energy. And the energy speaks, and it cannot be suppressed. Cannot be suppressed. Valara says, how to join the workshop. I'll be giving out the details tomorrow. I'm still putting together the last bit of details to make sure everything makes sense. Curve, peace, bro. Curve says they don't let go of things easily. MC Maestro says I used to hold grudges for eons. Yeah. Oh yeah. MC Maestro says I used to have an app and got the same card every day for like 2 years. Richard Tracy says, LMAO, I've even had customers ask me to do that before. That's funny. Let's pull another one. Let's pull another one. Let's see what this has to say. 10 of Wands, Lord of Oppression. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I pulled this for you last week. Lord of Oppression. This is Saturn in Sagittarius. Saturn in Sagittarius, a heavy burden. This is the card that you see in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck where he's kind of hunched over carrying 10 rods on his back. Heavy burden. Heavy burden. Because Saturn is all about discipline. Saturn is all about you get what you deserve, get what you work for, get what you earn. And Sagittarius is fire, pinpointed, focused beam in one direction. So that pinpointed, focused role being played by the actor of Saturn can be very strict, very strict. And the rod will not be spared, as the Bible says, spare the rod, spoil the child. Oh, the rod is not getting spared here, nor will there be any spoiling of children. Hazard Pie says, what happened after 2 years? Did you get different cards or stop using the app? And see Maestro. Artquark says, those cards are going to come out no matter what. It happened to me 3 days in a row. Then all of a sudden my brother-in-law shows up needing every damn thing under the sun from me. Sheesh, man. Now, just to keep it clear, this isn't like a bad reading, like, oh my God, it's all falling apart. It's not that. It's not that. I think that what was said earlier, there's something there that needs to be taken seriously. Because these 2 cards jumped out from the previous reading. And it was about the structure that needs tweaking and possibly toning back on whatever you're putting into it, right? These 2 specific cards came back out, sandwiched by loss and pleasure and oppression. Careful not to be too hard on yourself. Careful not to be inducing oppression over yourself. Careful not to take all the joy out of it. Maybe you need to do that pleasure exercise. technique number 14. That's kind of funny. But, you know, heed the warning. Heed the warning, as they say. Here we go. All right. All right. So that's that. That's that. I hope the message came through clear to you, Maestro. So I got another reading for an Aries. For an Aries. Specifically the wife of Society Ejects. Our Quark says, go with the flow isn't always what you want. It's just necessary to get to the next part. I had to buy him a hotel room and run a bunch of errands for him. Society Eject says, General, her name is Candace. Okay. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. Good stuff. Good stuff. I love the experience, and I'll keep it real. Like, perhaps my motives are a bit selfish because with every night that I do reading, I start to get more experiences that I accumulate with the specific cards. So in a way, simply doing tarot is a great way to learn how to do tarot. Because every time I pull a card and I interpret an experience that's happening in your lives, that's building and adding to my library of correspondences. That's adding to my library of correspondences. So the more that I do these readings with you all, just by default, by passive, you know how like on video games, you get an active ability and a passive ability? My passive ability right now, well shit, since I've been doing this channel, my passive ability is that I naturally begin to learn these topics faster because we have discussions on them, because I practice them with you all. So it's like, almost like a weird cheat code. Not even a cheat code, man. This is just my passive ability. I learn it faster because I'm talking about it and teaching it and doing it. Which should be another sign for you, whatever it is that you got on your mind, that you are hoping to do, planning to do one day, and you're going to do it one day. Maybe you need to just get started and realize that you start learning by doing. Maybe you should realize that you start learning by getting into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. Remember that used to be a meme? All right, so we're doing a reading for Candace. Aries. Aries. Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. And Amali says, it's like the exercise picking 3 Sephirah and tell a story. The cards totally do that. Yes, really? And one of the ways that I was learning earlier was that you can lay all the cards out in order and you can tell a story from the major arcana, from the Fool to the Universe. And each of the suits tell a story as well, from the Ace of Wands down to the 10 of Wands. Those tell the story of the Wands family. Same thing with the Cups, Swords, and the Pentacles. There's so many different ways of learning this art and this science. But as with everything spiritual and human in general, with everything, it's a blend of study and practice, study and practice, study and practice. You study some, you practice some. You study some, you practice some. In that order. In that order. Don't just study Practice what you studied. Don't just practice. Study the mechanics behind it. If you get the book Libra Nolan Psychonaut in the back, he's got a diagram that like shows you the chart of how much study and how much practice, right, depending on the balance, will get you on this side of the chart or that side of the chart. And I saw that many years ago, and I found it to be accurate from my experience. Artquark says, my goal is to start giving astrological readings. I think I'm ready to start practicing on friends, etc. Go for it. Go for it. I bought a lot of cool books recently. I got a lot of cool books. Books that I've never heard of. I think that now that I've come into the space where I'm able to really go deep on my study with astrology, these new books came out of into my awareness, I'll say, because they're old books. Some of them are like written in the 70s and the 80s. But like, I like to look at the comments. I like to look at the ratings. I like to do a little bit of research on the author before I buy a book. And I found a series of books that are like, you know, according to the comments, astrologer's Bible. So I found one that's like a dictionary of every possible combination. I can't wait to dig into that one. I've got a book on different combinations of tarot. That was one of the first books that I was learning tarot from. I didn't like that style of learning though, because that was more memorization. Anyways, we about to get very astrological up in here. All right, so Candace, we're doing a read for Candace. I had to shuffle them cards extra good just to make sure. All right, here we go. This is the final read for the night. And I have a big feeling that this will affect quite a few Aries listeners. So if you're Aries, this is for you. This is for you. This is number one. All right, here we go. Cut that thing one more time. All right. Let's do it. Beam, bam, boom. Beam, bam, boom. All right. So, how many of y'all been on your mantras? How many of y'all been on your mantras? Get on your mantras. Get on your mantras. That's one way to accelerate your progress. That's one way to accelerate your progress. Pick Durga, Saraswati, Lakshmi, one of them three. Pick Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva, one of them three. Pick you somebody. Get to it. Here we go. Wow. I say wow because as I was shuffling earlier, this card jumped out. And once again, I said, no, put it back. But it has jumped out. So here we go. Lord of Material Trouble. This is the Five of Pentacles. And let's talk about why it's called the Lord of Material Trouble. It's called that because what we're dealing with is the actor called Mercury is very fast-paced, quick-thinking, quick-witted. He likes to hustle. He likes to move around, likes to communicate, sharing ideas, exchanging, selling goods and stuff. Moving, never in one spot. However, being forced into the position of Taurus now, that same mindset, that same individual that's always running and bouncing and doing stuff and communicating and this, that, and the third, they're locked down. They are pinned down. I want you to think for a moment how that person would feel, being a mover and a shaker, a hustler, a communicator, connected to so many different people, in and out of town, knows a little bit about everything, but here they are now planted, rooted, grounded, stuck in one spot. This is where you get the energy of the Five of Pentacles, Lord of Material Trouble. It seems like there is a lot of things that you want to do, but you cannot do it right now. There's a lot of ideas that you have that can't be expressed. There's a lot of feelings that you have that you're not really able to express. There's a lot of something going on that you're not able to express, and it's actually causing you negative feelings. You're a little bit upset about that. You're annoyed by it. You're frustrated, mainly frustrated, because your mind's going at 300 miles per hour, but your body is going at 3 miles per hour. Your material world, the physical world, maybe this is your job. In and out of town, yes, going down right, breaking weed down. MC Maestro says, thugging with their rounds. Curve says, I feel attacked, Trav. Oh yeah, right, we're talking about Aries, so most definitely. I be getting so focused into I be zooming into these single elements that I sometimes lose sight of the big picture. So, the mover and the shaker. Now we have the energy of the Queen of the Thrones of Air. This is the Queen of Swords. This is the watery aspect of the air. So this is a very mental reading right now. We begin with the mind going everywhere, but the body stuck in one place. Now check this out. This is interesting. Now we have the Queen of Swords, which deals with a wide expanse of ideas. Now, she isn't like a super expert in one subject, but there's definitely quite a few things that she knows and can manage together as a network of ideas to make life kind of go smooth. Like you've got it figured out enough for yourself. You've got it figured out enough. Now, with her holding the head of this guy, look, even though she's being put through so many distractions, even though she's planted still and the weight of her own mind is pulling her to and fro, you at least know how to tune out distractions. You at least know how to tune out things that don't serve you. You at least know how to slice off the head of things that come to push you off of your square. At least you can do that. And that's great. And that's actually the strength that you need to utilize, because guess what? Some of those thoughts that are running around your head, some of those ideas and desires and things you want to do and all this stuff that's going on, a lot of those need to be cut off at the head. See, it looks like now is a time of sharpening the sword so that you can begin to cut away those thoughts that are not in alignment with your overall goal. Speaking of overall goal, I mentioned that oftentimes I zoom into these small details and lose the big picture. Did you do that? Did you lose the big picture? Could it be that because you don't specifically have like a solid overall goal that you're aiming towards, because you don't have that, your mind isn't anchored, so it's kind of just going, I could do this, I could do that, oh, I should do this, oh, I should do that, I could do that, I could do. Are your thoughts sounding a bit like that? Is it like that? Eight of Wands, Lord of Swiftness. Lord of Swiftness. Okay, now we're starting to talk about something here. Society Eject says, yo, she just told me today that she was going to quit her job. Yeah, okay. So let's talk about this Mercury and Sagittarius energy. So to start this off, we talked about Mercury, the wheeler and dealer, right? The mover and the shaker, in and out of town, thugging with his or her rounds, or whatever. In the role of Taurus, in the role of being planted still. The two energies don't mix. But maybe that has happened. Maybe you were stuck in that spot so that you could learn a little bit about discipline, a little bit about cutting the head off of things that don't serve you. Right? Now let's continue. Now, Mercury, that same actor, is in the position of Sagittarius. Now that you've gone through the process of slicing away the nonsense, now you can pull back your bow Focus on your target and let loose. Now you can zoom in to that target, pull back your bow and let loose. Now Mercury is on fire here. Look at all these arrows as they're flaming, shooting in this direction and a third. See, Mercury didn't do so well in the physical plane. But see, this is the spiritual plane. And all that mental energy of thinking and breaking things down and figuring this out and all that, that does pretty well in the spiritual plane. So what you've learned how to do is to perhaps cut off some type of physical anchor so that your spirit can begin to soar and explore. To soar and explore and to reach greater distances. Greater distances, right? These arrows, right? This is a card of wands, but specifically this card is about travel, communication. These arrows are going a long distance. It's called the Lord of Swiftness because these arrows are traveling like missiles. They're covering great distance, great territory because they're not obstructed by the physical plane. They're reaching great distance. So look, whatever it is that you cut off, Society Eject says that you were thinking about quitting your job. Now, I'm not going to say yes or no, but what I am saying is that look at that big ass head. Something heavy needs to be sliced off so that this pent up mental energy can soar where it will actually excel at. It's not suited for this, but it's suited for this. This is where it's going to produce the most. Let's pull one more card to really round this out. Let's pull one more to really round this out. Ho ho, ho ho. Death, child of the great transformers. The old you has its days numbered. The new you is ready to be born. This card represents Scorpio. This card represents Scorpio. And this is all about the end of the old and the birth of the new. Some things have to die in order for other things to be born. Some things have to be moved out of the way, transformed. And another language can be kind of scary. It can be kind of scary. But this is a process that is happening all the time to everybody. On a minuscule scale, it's happening on every aspect of your physical body in your home. On a wider scale, it's happening to society at large. Hell, Pluto just entered into Aquarius. You know who rules Pluto? Or I should say, you know who Pluto rules? Scorpio. This is about transformation. This head that you're cutting off is going to lead to the death of something that was literally holding you down. Literally, Taurus, fixed earth. That's the heaviest sign you can get. And Mercury does not belong there. Cutting that off and bringing death to that is going to transform you. Let me pull one more card, man, because this is good. This is good. Lord of Illusionary Success, 7 of Cups. Now be careful. Look, there's Scorpio again. You see that? There's Scorpio again. And who do we have in Scorpio? Venus. We talked about this relationship before. Look, Scorpio, death. So this is about your transformation now. Don't get it twisted now. Don't get too happy and excited. Think this through. Think this through. Maybe you need to let your mind soar to think about your options first. Because check this out. 7 of Cups now. This deals with Scorpio as well, but look what's happening at these empty cups being teased, right? Look at the flower dangling over those cups, promising to drip its sweet nectar into those bowls. But it's a lie, it's an illusion. Don't get carried away by things that sound good and sound sweet. And oh yeah, this might, and this might, and that might. Because there are many options that represent illusionary success. You don't want this to be a death to everything. You want this to be a death to the aspects that don't serve you. Look at that head being chopped. Play this wisely so that what comes to death are those things that need to die. not the things that need to live. In other words, weigh your options. Don't get too excited. Weigh your options and make sure that what you do invest into is something that is sustainable, something that's going to feed you, something that's actually going to make you happy. Why? Because you don't want to get stuck in this position again. You got here, I don't know how, but probably because you chose something because you thought that this is what, I don't know, what you were supposed to do, right? Maybe somebody or some group or whatever influenced you to the point where you thought that this is what you were supposed to do according to how things work. You don't want to get stuck in that position again. So take the time to understand who you are and how your mind works so that you don't get carried away by illusionary success. The way that we get conned and swindled, bamboozled, what's the word the young folks use? Scam. Yeah, the way that you get scammed is by being tempted by that illusionary success. You don't know yourself, so you start to fall for whatever sounds good. But when you know yourself, you can't scam that person because you know what you need and what you're working towards. Let me know how that sounds for you. If that was a live read for Candace, or if you're just gonna tell her to watch it or relay it. Moving, hustling, wheeling, and dealing. I remember that. Moving, hustling, wheeling, and dealing. Oh, that was funny. Society Eject says, LOL, yep, she on a 30-day fast, started on the 1st. Keep at it. MC Maestro says, noted my 7 or so common thoughts of my life today. They needed some pruning. Go meta with it, Maestro. You know what I'm talking about. Go meta with those pruning scissors. How do you feel about the pruning process? Are you joyful about the pruning? Are you excited about the pruning? Are you getting pleasure from the pruning process? Go meta. Jay Baldhale says, man, I'm not even Aries, and this reading is bending me over right now. Curve999 says, crazy, I cut off a lot of distractions, weed, sex, old thoughts, and been having dreams of flying lately. Disciplinary energy has been very prevalent. I'm telling you, this is the perfect time for that self-discipline, because self-discipline is what shapes you and conditions you to be able to receive the spiritual energy. So the thing about the spiritual energy, you have to make yourself fit to receive it. You have to make yourself worthy to receive it. Not worthy to some person in the sky, but worthy in such that you correspond with that energy. When you start to reach a level of purity yourself, now you're in correspondence with purity. And it's different for everybody, right? For me, it's when I abstain from damn near everything. When I abstain from damn near everything, except maybe coffee and Monster, and I focus all of my energy on my studies and on creation and on planning for the future and building the future, when I start living in that vibe, the type of things that come to me are extraordinary. And I had forgotten because it's been so long. But when you do what is the symbolic of purity to you, you're putting yourself into alignment with purity, and now purity can manifest in your life because you are syncing up with that vibration of purity. It has nothing to do with culture, nothing to do with this person said, oh, you ain't supposed to eat meat. No. If that's purity for you, it is for me. So I stopped eating it. I don't care what you think about me. Do your thing. For some people, it's good for you. For some people, you need it. For some people, that's what helps them tap in. Find what works for you. Jay Baldhill says, all right, bro, keep telling me over and over again. I'm ready to get this holiness. Facts, bro, facts. Society Eject says, I thought that last card was about her giving up booty to somebody else. Why? Oh, I get it, because the way I described it. No, 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 no. Yeah. It's Scorpio, right? Scorpio literally rules sex and death, right? We already talked about the death aspect of Scorpio. I was emphasizing the sex aspect, because of Venus. That's funny. She says, "Thank you for the reading. You said a mouthful, nothing but truth." Awesome. Thank you. She asked me earlier what the difference between a reading and prophecy, and you just answered her question. Okay, okay. Oracle of Medusa says, "I quit a stressful job and now I can recall my dreams and work on other things. I enjoy being quiet and taking my time." Yes, when you put yourself into that vibration and frequency of your purity, you start to correspond with it. Like, it has nothing to do with anybody else. There's nothing nobody's given you. There's nothing nobody approves of. You're literally putting yourself into the vibration of holiness. And it's ironic because religious people, most of them, don't even understand what that means. Matthew Watson says it's like Thor in the first movie. He had to see himself worthy in fallen state in order to wield Mjolnir again. Thanks, Trav. I needed that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When I was still in my lower state, I had to see myself as holy and pure in order for me to get back there. Here's the thing. Your body and your world follows your mind and your vision. You have to see yourself there first. Then you get there. And I've been taking advantage of that. Every single day, I've been saturating myself in my vision. When it gets dark, right a couple of hours before sunrise, I put myself into deep trance and I build my future. I saturate myself with it. I've been doing that consistently for, I've lost count. I don't care how many. I'm going to keep doing it every night. Every night. I make sure I get at least an hour in. But if I can get more, I'll get more. I think last night I got like 5 hours in. I will go into trance and I will saturate myself with the future. And I will allow myself to really soak in those feelings, to soak in that essence, align myself to it. You got to visualize it first. And once you visualize it, now your body and your mind knows what direction to go to. Now your body and your mind knows what direction you're trying to lead it into. Thomas Carr said, "Gorilla hands." Gorilla something else too. Starline says, "Wow, and I was thinking about, what if I'm not worthy to pursue God? And this is a positive confirmation for me. Had to empty my cup like Bruce Lee said." Exactly. Exactly. Emily McQuay says, "Are you a boy or a girl?" Hey, the same end result is going to happen to you if you come over here, I'll tell you that. All right, so I think that was a good place to kind of bring this to a close. Beautiful energy on the way, beautiful energy here. I'm proud of you if you are taking advantage of it, for sure. For sure. I'm proud of you if you're taking advantage of it. If you're not, like, you can only, you know what I'm saying? It's your life. Do what you got to do. It's plenty to go around. It's enough for everybody. But if, like, you literally just don't want it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the world, bro. Like, that's cool. That's cool. I'm sure you have a good reason. Oh my God, that's funny. Monkeys! All right, so we're wrapping it up, y'all. This was awesome. This was awesome. I know that you got something that you can take home and transmute into useful. Like the people who are here listening to this message, doing the work, listen to me. This is going to be the best year that you've had yet. This is going to be the best year that you've had yet. Say it to yourself. Look in that mirror and say it to yourself. This is going to be the best year that I have had yet. And start building it right now. Right now. The plans that you create, the action step. Watch the video that I posted today. The plans you create, the action step that you create right now is what's going to build your empire. Get this thing going. Get it going. You have to. There is no other choice. It's not like you're going to, listen, it's a certain kind of heart, a certain kind of spirit. You're not going to hear my words and be like, nah, I'm not gonna. I'm saying this to you because you've been saying this to you. I'm saying this because you've been saying this. I'm not telling you what to do. I am reflecting what's already in your heart. It is time. Give yourself permission. It is time. Utilize it. And in case you're a little bit slow, I'm going to keep reminding you. And if you need an example, keep watching. Valara says, gave up ganja and liquor. Sober and I feel like I'm superhuman. Same. Now get into that vibration and that frequency of purity, right? Do whatever you got to do. Do your mantras, do your meditation. Do what you got to do. Get into that vibration of purity and watch what comes into your atmosphere. Watch. All right, y'all. I'm wrapping it up. This was awesome. Stay tuned. Like I said, I'm going to do a workshop for those of you who want to work with me and like really flesh out a game plan, take your first steps, do some NLP to really dig out some resources, right? Why you want to do it, why you want to do what you want to do, and what the best ways to go about it. I'll help you formulate a plan if that's what you want. We got like 3 weeks. Like, I'm so serious about this energy right now. I done pulled out my NLP books. I'm making sure that I am the best version of myself so that I can do the best that I can do. If you want to get on board with me doing that, I'll have an announcement for you tomorrow. In the meantime, enjoy your evening. Do not go to bed until you got your first action plan, your first action step. All right? All right. Now I'm going to Fortnite world and enjoy a little bit of Fortnite after this long, hard day of work. Big Frieza energy. I love it. All right, time to go. Time to wrap it up. Moving, hustling, wheeling, and dealing. Man, I'm so butthurt about my Instagram post. Like, I'm trying to figure out all these social media platforms. I'm learning the algorithms. This shit is difficult. I thought, okay, let me make this moon astrology prediction. Instagram would love it. I see people sharing astrology stuff all the time. Stayed up all night, did a bunch of work on the astrology stuff. Minimal likes, 0 shares, 0 comments. Man, what the hell is this? Reposted like some, semi-cheesy occult meme. 500 likes. What? They don't want the floating rocks, huh? They just want the memes. All right. That's what we'll do for Instagram. The memes, no floating rocks. YouTube seemed to be a little bit more accepting of the astrology thing, so I'll probably just save that for YouTube since Instagram doesn't deserve it. We'll keep the Instagram purely jokes and funnies, I guess. Funnies and inspirations, those seems to be what I win with. I mean, that astrology post got less likes than a raw picture of my face. And that post might get 30 likes. Because 20 people being nice. I put all that work into that post and got a handful. So yeah. But that's the thing about social media. Like, you've got to learn what works for your audience. You can't force it, because if you force it, then, you know what I'm saying, you're only disappointing yourself. All right, so I'm getting to this fortnight. Y'all have an excellent night. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you. To my mods, the mighty sword of Gibera, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Without you, I and the viewers would be a little bit more distracted with the scum of the earth. So thank you, mighty sword of Gibera. All right, till next time. See y'all tomorrow night. Stay consistent. Get to work. Don't waste this energy. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. I love you all. Peace. Big Frieza energy. New love. Hope for the best. Stay positive.